So I took that Starscream and I took it over to the women's clothing and found just the ugliest stack of shirts I could find, and I stuck it way underneath there, hoping that those shirts wouldn't sell out between that day and tomorrow when I could bring my stash of $1 bills that I kept at the house. Came back the next day. So, yeah, I take it back. I'm a huge hypocrite. I hit a G2 Starscream in 1990. I confess.
Was it there?
Yeah, it was there. I still have it. It's in a box in my garage right
Small talk.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Always one of my favorite conversations that we've had about talking about hiding and lifting shelves up on Small Talk. What a fun time. Welcome to this week's episode of Small Talk, the show where we talk about absolutely nothing important at all. I'm your host, as always, Dylan, joined by Sean, Eddie, and Mario the Professor. What up, guys?
How's it going?
What up?
What's going on, everybody?
Good to have everyone. 3 weeks in a row we've recorded a Small Talk, and it couldn't be worse timing for poor Sean. But last week was our bonus episode. I just real quick again wanted to thank those guys. That's what our opening clip was from that episode with the Dork Lair. So with that we had Bill, Larry, and Chris, and it was a blast. Really fun show. We had a lot of people tuning in. We had Brian Fontaine, I think, from Six Scale Scavengers tuning in the chat, and I think he even did a super chat. We had one of my favorite Instagram photographers that I have followed, 1-6 shooter Trevor over there. I know he's pretty close to Bill. So we had a lot of fun overall in the episode. So make sure all the listeners to check that episode out. What up, Ekwan, England, and Fat Hog.
Fat Hog.
I don't know if that's a real person, but anyways.
Dylan,
yeah.
no, that was a great stream last week, man. I mean, that was really cool to see those guys on the channel. Look, you guys had a blast.
It was a lot of fun. We had some good discussions, and it was it was just a good time overall. But anyways, for our small talk here, we just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that. But we also one of the things I know that we had wanted to bring up was mixing small and bigger things, collecting wise. So like figures, things like that, how you decide your sizes or your scales, that sort of thing. But I guess before that, we want to thank our friends over Wattle Scrapyard for sponsoring this week's episode of Small Talk. But yeah, so Eddie, this was your subject that you hopped in the show sheet here. So what did you have in mind on this subject? Because you obviously have a lot of new things, and maybe you want to cover new things first, because that would segue into it better.
Yeah. So I had a pretty intense week for small scale stuff. I got I think it was being on the show with them last week and like talking about Amazon Japan and like being hyped for some of the smaller scale stuff, and I decided that I was gonna order the Mafex Mara from Aquaman, the movie. I really liked Amber Heard's portrayal of the character, and I love the movie. It's one of my favorite DC movies, and I really wanted something from that in my collection. And I had the Aquaman hot toy, and I wasn't a very big fan of it. The one from the Solo movie, I really didn't like it that much. It's one of those rare times where you get a hot toy in and it was not, where it's like not what you wanted. It was just in my opinion, it's not a very good figure. But so I wanted something from the movie, and I know that Mafex did Aquaman, Mara, and Black Manta, so I went ahead and picked up the Mara, and I gotta say, it's a really cool figure. The likeness is done really well. There's a ton of detail on the suit. The painting is really good. It comes with crazy cool accessories like these little stands with the wine spikes. If you saw the movie, there's a scene where because Mara's kind of got these powers where she can manipulate like liquid. So there's this scene where they're fighting in Italy, I think, and there's a wine cellar, and she like fucking explodes all of the wine and like shoots it at the troopers they're fighting. I forget who they're actually fighting. Oh, look at that, you put up some pictures, but yeah, it comes with those like wine spikes. They're really cool, and she comes with some water, like looks like water shooting out of her hands. So yeah, it's a really good figure. I recommend it. I'm listening to Dork Layer all the time, and and I'm listening to Bill talk about how Mafex figures always seem a little bit overpriced when you get female figures, and he's not wrong. Like it is really good, but it still feels like not like maybe I'd be happier if I spent like $60 instead of, even though this was like 80, which is still good for a Mafex. I wish I spent 60 just because female figures are so small and like I don't know, but it's still a good
Yeah.
figure. It's just
Guys, I have a
So
question.
yeah,
I'm listening to Eddie, and he's consistently pronouncing it as Mafex. Do we have an official pronouncement on how we're supposed to be saying? Is it
we
Mafex or Mafex?
we went
Please
back
educate
and
me.
we went back and forth on a bunch of the first shows of Small Talk on that. I always grew up just saying, not grew up, but I always said Mafex, and then someone hopped on the show that I felt like knew more than what I did about them, and they said Mafex. I think it was Dean, but I'm not 100% sure. So it just started changing slowly in my vocabulary to Mafex. Mafex, Mafex, I don't think it really matters a ton.
yeah.
But,
I'm kind of
um,
like of that same like potato, even though I don't know
yeah,
who the fuck says potato, but still, like I don't know. I've heard it
yeah.
both ways, so
And to your point about it always being, like, not always, but a lot of times you get female figures with Mafex just feeling a little overpriced. It's not just female figures, I'll be honest. Ever since they've slowly crept up from about anywhere from about $40 to $60 over the years is where they were like right in the middle of, they were very niche, like right there, one of the few companies that was right in the middle of like a Black Series or Marvel Legends and like an SH Figuarts, right?
mm-hmm.
And when we first started Small Talk, they were still very close to being that price. Well, they just, over the years, in recent years, they have crept up from about $60 to $70 to now you're seeing them listed at like 104 without any like ups, like upcharge from Big Bad or anything like that. It's very odd. I Yeah, I'm not 100% sure why. I know a lot of people say the big thing they have fixed is a lot of the QC things. That's been a lot slower. The other thing that I know a lot of people have complained about, obviously, is their release dates always delayed and late. They have more things always on pre-order than they actually do in stock. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think yeah, Duh Collector said Mafex is expensive, but I sold my comic version Spidey for over 200.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they sell out, they can really go for a lot of money. That Spider-Man I've always referred to as the best Spider-Man you can get in action figure form. Just their like classic, and either the comic colored or the classic one
You know what
is
I
a great
had that
figure.
one. I had the original one and I didn't get the like shaded cell one or whatever. But I was actually upset when it came in because it wasn't as brightly colored as the promo pics.
Pictures.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you know what I mean? Like the blue was a little less bright and so was the red, and I was like expecting it to be like that, and it was a little dull when it came in, and that it's still a great figure. It's like one of the best Spider-Man figures out there, but that kind of annoyed me a little bit.
yeah, they're like oddly kind of more weathered than you would think, but I kind of like that sort of thing. I wasn't super. I have the comic one, and what I was sad about was I had the hip issue, which you'll still see sometimes with their figures, where the hips I've talked about before, where they just kind of plop off, putting any sort of pressure on them, and that kind of scared me away from them for a bit. But I had it replaced, and the second one was perfectly fine. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how they're diving into some more in-depth comics, especially on the DC side, that a lot of people have wanted for a while in high quality figure form, that either Mezco hasn't touched, or they did a long time ago, or SH Figure Arts obviously won't do. It's not what they have, I guess, for licenses or products. But yeah, it's good to see them branch out. I just want them to turn the corner and eventually feel like it's worth the money. I think they said in that Dork Lair episode you were talking about too, Eddie, where they said that it was good, or the Batmans from like A Dark Knight Returns,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Hush Batman felt like they were worth the money.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. They did. They came with enough. They had enough options. They were fun enough figures to feel like they were worth that price point. But and Mario, are you finding anything out on Mofex? I know you're doing some homework on it here.
Wow. I
I'm
can't
sorry.
believe this
I've completely
exists.
tuned out to the show, and I found an old Reddit thread that mentioned it's pronounced the way it's spelled in Japanese is pronounced as Muffix, like you say muffin,
Yep.
but Muffix.
Wow. I'm not saying that.
I
don't
want to
know.
say.
Just-
I want to say
I'm still researching.
someone in the beginning of Small Talk's day and age, someone pointed that out to us and said that to us. But so Eddie, did you get anything else new besides
Yeah.
Mara?
This is a good segue. Scott asked, are those all Black Series clones on the desk? Yeah, they are. I got these in today.
Good.
I got them from the Pence Pack Facebook group. If you guys are in that, Josh Pence's Facebook group, he has a sale post every Friday. And one of the guys on there, Logan Andrew, he had a bunch of clones for sale, and he gave me a good deal. I essentially paid retail for everything, so I'm pretty happy with them. But I got Cody Bly, I got 2 Camino Troopers, 2 Shiny Troopers, and 2 of the 332nd Troopers. So I'm pretty
Nice.
excited about these ones.
Yeah. So are they all the same body? That's the big question.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure maybe not the shinies, because I think the shinies are the newest ones, right? I'm looking at like the butterfly joints in them to tell the difference, because that's like how you tell from the older ones, right? The older ones didn't have butterfly joints.
Yeah, they essentially apparently are better, more accurate bodies, but yeah, they didn't have the.
I am not the best person to ask about accuracy,
Okay.
to be honest, but I know that these are the shinies, and the 332nds are newer bodies, so they have the butterfly joints. I think the Cody and the Bly they're older, so they
I
have
think the Camino,
the original.
The Camino ones are the newest ones.
Yeah.
Are they the newest?
Yeah,
I
those
think
are the
they were
newest
with
ones.
that. They were with the wave of the 332nd. I think.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, they do have the butterfly joints on them, so maybe they are part of it. But yeah, I got all those, and here's all the guns that came with them, and they all come with the same rifle pretty much, except for Bly came with the 2 hand. I don't know what they're called. Maybe Mario does, but you know what the 2 handguns they use are called, Mario? Or the rifles, like
The
do you know the actual name
pistols,
of them?
or I think the
Yeah.
long rifles are DC-16s, and the small ones I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, they came with all those, and then so I'm excited to mess with those. I'm starting to build up a trooper collection over here. And I also got this from Iron Studios, had a sale for 4th of July. They had like
Ooh.
a 10% off. I think it was like was it a 4th of July or birthday sale? Maybe it was like their anniversary sale or something, but it was 10% off, and I got the SH Figure Arts Freddie Mercury from the Live Aid version. I
You
have
got this
already
from
opened it.
Iron Studios, you said?
Yeah, they got the license to sell SHF, and there's something else. They sell a couple things on their site. They obviously have their statues, and then they had some mostly Dragon Ball Z SHF stuff, and there was some other stuff, but I'm
No
blanking
kidding.
on what it was. But yeah, they had this one, so I got this one. And
England asked again which group this was again that you got
oh,
this
for
from.
the Black Series, that was Pence Pack, PNCE PACK. It's Josh Pence's Facebook
Yep.
group that he runs with Big Dub. It's a pretty good group.
Cool.
They're cool. They do mostly small scale stuff, some hot toys, but every Friday they have a sale post, and usually it's pretty good prices on there. Some dudes do try to like mark stuff up, but it's usually pretty good. So I usually find deals on there.
And I have Fox and Gree if you're interested.
I want Fox. I wish you told me about Gree because I have Gree in my pile of loot at Big Bad, but I want
okay.
Fox. So
All right.
that would be cool. Maybe if we meet up at Frankincense or something, I can pick that
Okay.
up.
Weird thing, I am not a huge fan of the color red, but some of my favorite troopers besides besides Death Troopers are Shock Troopers and Fox. Like red with the white for whatever reason to me has
Same
always
here.
been like the most appetizing.
You
I
know
don't
which
why.
one is really cool too? Ganch. I think it's Ganch. He has the same color way
Fox
as
is very
Shock Troopers
similar.
and Fox.
Yeah.
He's cool too. He is.
I didn't know that trooper till Justin reviewed him on his channel.
Me
That was
either.
a trip. Yeah.
Me either. I don't remember any of them honestly because like a lot of them are in Clone Wars for like just a tiny like amount of time, so I don't remember all of the troopers, but
Mhm.
that's how I noticed him too from Justin's review. But
And Mark, don't worry about not having the boxes. That never seems to be, if you're selling in any of the groups or like you tell people you're selling Black Series, just no boxes. Most of the time you won't have trouble moving them. Like even if it's not retail, you can get close to retail.
yeah,
To where it's typically not that hard to move.
I don't
Black
think any of
Series.
them. I don't think there's anything selling under retail right now. Nothing. Like
Yeah.
when it comes to troopers or
Even
Black Series, the only things is like maybe sequel trilogy stuff is stuff that's like selling for dirt cheap.
I wonder if I can get my money back on Rex. I never opened it, but I paid like
No,
$45. to
Oh
get
my
it.
god,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and it's funny
And-
because he's re-released
But
twice.
he's
I
being,
think
right. He's being reissued though, isn't he?
twice,
Which-
and he's still selling. He's still sold out, and he's still selling for over retail, dude.
Which
Oh,
one do you
really?
you don't have the con one, do you? Mark?
No. I don't have
Okay,
the con.
that's
I have
the one
standard
I've
Black
been in the
Series.
market for. I've wanted that con one so bad.
Is that the
For the
one
longest
that's
time.
like the blue packaging and it like
Yep.
folds open? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a cool one. Let me get through this really quick, and then that way we can move
Oh,
on
yeah.
to Sean or
Yeah,
something.
sorry.
So the Live Aid is a really cool figure. It looks really good. The likeness is good. It comes with 3 different heads, which is really cool. I haven't posed him up, but I opened it up and messed with him a little bit, and it's a good figure. I paid just under 60 for it, so I'm happy with it. It's cool. I got to try and see if I can get the other version of him now in the yellow jacket and stuff. And then I got these. I try not to get Funko Pops anymore, but I saw these at Target. Sydney and Billy from White Men Can't Jump, which is
nice.
a fucking awesome movie. If you guys haven't seen it, we should definitely
It's
think
great.
about movie of the week for that one if it's available on streaming, because I love that movie, dude.
It's a great movie.
But yeah, those were my my pickups,
Shit.
and I don't know if you want to let Sean do his new this week first, or if you want to talk about the small talk. What do you want to do?
Sean, did you get anything new?
Yeah, man, it was a good few weeks for me. The first thing I got in is the original Power Rangers Megazord. and the only thing that it was missing,
Oh,
which
sweet.
typically is missing, is that tip of the tail right there. But I was
tip of the
really
what?
the tip of the T-Rex's tail right here.
Oh, tail. I thought you were saying tell.
No, the tail. Yeah, the tip. But it's a little worn. Some of the stickers are kind of peeling off, and then the sword is kind of beat up. It's kind of, you can't really tell. Like right there, you can.
It still
But-
looks nice and shiny though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in really good condition, man. I was super
Cool.
excited. I got this for $30.
When is it from again? Do you remember?
I think 92, 93,
Wow.
somewhere around
It's
there.
as old as me, man.
And then literally
Yeah,
the
man.
next day, right? The Gorgonites came in from Small Soldiers. So I already have an Insaniac, but the only reason I picked him up is because he had the ball and chain. Because the one that I have doesn't have that, and then he also has the chains that's on his arm and his leg. So I will probably be transferring this one, the ball and the chain, to my one that I already have, because the guy who had this, it smelled like nicotine and smoke and stuff, bad. So, and then the little guy that hangs out on him, I never known his name, but
I don't either.
When I rewatched that, I was surprised to remember, or to like, I guess remember. I guess I'd never realized how little those guys were like in the actual movie. It was definitely like the soldiers and then the leader of those guys that was in the movie most of the time that you see from the toys. And
yeah.
Yeah.
The other guy I got was Nick Nitro. When I was younger, I never had him, so I had to pick him up, and it came with the same set. And,
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like it hit me real good with the memories of this movie.
We definitely need some
I
modern
haven't tried this
figures
yet,
of
but
those.
I think you're supposed to be able to. I don't
the
know.
window
There
is
it
like
goes.
now to redo those figures.
Yes.
They wait any longer, and then we're gonna be too old, and then
We're gonna see. I don't know anything about like the license, like what's tied behind it, but I think we're gonna see someone like Super 7 or NECA pick that up, because that just seems like their thing, you know.
Yeah.
If they're doing Street Sharks, you know what I
Super
mean?
Sevens, yeah.
Yeah, the Street Sharks. I'm excited about the Street
I
Sharks.
want them to do them. I haven't seen anything, but
I got the Punch It. It did not have Scratch It with it, so I was disappointed about that. But I think I might have someone 3D print one for me. And this was one that I never had when I was young either. He's one of my favorites, aside from like Slam Fist and Archer. And they're just all in really good condition. It even has the little rocket off his head. And then
That's cool, dude.
the last thing I got was the SHF Wasp from Ant-Man and Wasp.
ooh,
That's dope.
And this was loose, and it came with the her little stand.
where'd you
And
get
all
it from?
all it has is like her extra hands in there. It doesn't have her what's her name, Janet, right?
Oh yeah,
Her
the
head
mom.
sculpt.
Oh,
Or
Or
no,
her-
I thought
her
you
name
meant
is
like
Hope.
Is it
Her name's
Lily?
Hope.
Hope. That's what it is. Yeah, but she will fit very
Oh,
nicely.
Evangeline Lilly? Is that what
Yeah.
you mean? Her
Yeah.
actual name? Yeah.
Her actual name, yeah. But this will fit nicely in my in-game
yeah.
display. So
That's
You
what I
know-
was just gonna say.
You know what I always thought was cool is like, if you collect Hot Toys, you could still get those and pose them with the Hot Toys, and it would be sick because they're like smaller scale. Or if you're an SHF person and you got like a Ant-Man Hot Toy, you could still pose it with the SHF stuff. I always thought that would be a cool display.
You're reading my mind. I have thought many times that I might buy that Ant-Man Hot Toys from
Well,
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Someone on this
Well,
panel is selling it.
Oh,
That's
I
your
know he
boy.
does, and we've already talked about it. But I just can't. I don't know if I want to spend that much on Ant-Man right now, because I have the deluxe edition, right, from Civil War, and he's kind of standing in, but the suit's not accurate, you know. But I don't know. I might have to pick him up. It just kind of depends. But that is everything I got. It's pretty. It was a pretty good damn couple of weeks for me.
Yeah, England, that's exactly right. We've talked about that quite a bit, like the nostalgia, especially with small things. On this show, we run into it a lot. He says, I love that a lot of our collecting stems from what we did not have when we were young. I'm guilty of it. It's like we have money now, bitches. Buy what we want when we did not get 25 years ago. 100%.
Or what your parents told you couldn't have, like.
Oh,
now
yeah,
you can
right.
Yeah.
There's one toy for sure that I think's going to get remade over the next couple years, and like I think we talked about on the Dork Lair episode too about ideas for the next HasLab thing, is a Rancor. I always wanted the Power of the Force Rancor so bad. I remember going to KB Toys, grabbing that, and I couldn't even like wrap my hands around the box for it, but I wanted it so bad. If you know anything about me, I've always been obsessed with things that eat other people for whatever reason. So, like Jurassic Park, Jaws, like anything like monster related like that. And I've always wanted a Rancor so bad. That was one of my favorite scenes. That's the scene that I wore out my dad's original Return of the Jedi VHS tape with, was rewinding that over and over again.
Dylan, so I'm curious if you were interested in either the Regal Robot one or the sideshow piece, the larger one or the smaller one.
I looked at them. I would say, I would lie if I would say I was not interested at all. I looked at them. My only thing is I want to play around with them. I want like the mouth to open and close. I want the arms to move up and down. That sort of thing. I think if that is the next HasLab, that's like perfect on what I want out of it. I want, rather than maybe like super detailed quality high end thing, I kind of want something that I can just bang around with and have
Something you
fun
can bang
with.
around with.
Yep. That's why he wants the articulated jaw.
Yeah, there you go. and the articulated legs, huh?
I would say the mouth doesn't go deep enough, but yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put
So
that to
this
the
is-
test. I'll ship you my Rancor, dude. We'll put that to the test.
Oh my god. The original Rancor, his throat doesn't go back that far. I know that. Anyways,
Dylan,
this
we
is
might
what
have
I
that
got. What?
I'm sorry, Dylan. We might have that Rancor at the shop.
Really?
And
That
I could find out.
isn't that thing like go for a good amount of money now?
I have not looked at the price on it, so.
Okay, well
But
let
I'll
me
find
know.
out.
Should
for
have
you
told
right
him
now.
that, dude.
Yeah, let me know. Okay, so all I really got new that I could find. A lot of the stuff I'm not opening because I'm kind of waiting to see what we're gonna do for the 50th episode celebration. In giveaways. But what this is the Mezco King Kong. He's fun, good size. He's gonna go well with like some NECA Godzillas or SH figure arts, things like that. Paint and sculpting are amazing. Articulation is not. So if he's not your normal like Mezco, like high end quality, is like $30 to $40, and he's really hard to like stand up. But he comes with, I think, 5 hands. Yeah, 5 hands, 2 head sculpts, and then some chains. And then the little
That's cool. That's a really cool accessory.
Yeah. And that's what fell out when I was
They did a black and white version too, right?
Yep. It's the PX one is the black and white one.
Are you interested in that one too, or are you good with the one you got?
I'm just good with this one. Black and white stuff never super interested me a lot, but
That's cool, dude.
yeah.
That's really cool.
It's fun. I can't wait till I get some of my SH Figure Arts ones out of their boxes and put them up next to it. I also want to compare them with the uh, NECA one that they just came out with too, or not just, but they've released like a I don't know, 3 or 4 different versions of that one,
Yeah.
and I want to kind of compare them. I know it's going to be a little bit bigger, but yeah,
The
Jason, you're right. The hips don't move barely at all. He's very hard to stand up. That was my biggest complaint.
um, I think it was D Amazing that did a review of. He either reviewed that or the NECA one, and he put that head on the NECA one, and that head on the NECA one looks good. I want to say it was D Amazing that did that.
I could see that.
Someone I know on YouTube did a review, and they put because that's the thing that I like about the Mezco one over the NECA one is the head. I think looks a lot better on the Mezco one.
Yeah.
It looks cooler.
So yeah, this is the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Just like closed mouth and just kind of a
Stoic.
stale face. Yeah,
Yeah.
stoic face. That's the word I was looking for. But yeah, like I said, the paint is very good. It's not all just one color across the board. The scars actually have like some red in them or pinkish shading to them. The mouth is done really well. And Scott, who asked, "Did you get the new SH figure or SH monster art still?" And yes, I did. And sadly enough, I didn't ship my pile of loot soon enough for this show.
Damn
I have
it.
him. I have him and the Godzilla on their way. So
I
next
saw that
episode.
I saw that the King Kong was still up on Big Bad, and I'm interested in it. So
He's
if you get it and you like it a lot, then I might pick it up.
he's been back and forth. I've seen him in and out of stock, and then I've seen Godzilla like barely was ever in stock. But King Kong, yeah, that he's been easier to come by. It seems like here. And then I did get actually Mecha Godzilla. I got super lucky. One time in one of the groups, one morning, it was like a Sunday or something. In one of the groups I'm in, posted, "Oh, he's back up on Amazon." And I went up there, got Mecha Godzilla from the movie for
Nice.
retail.
That's cool. That
So
was the
we'll have
one
to see.
that was hard to get, right?
Yeah, and like yeah, he sold out like within the first couple days, which never happens with Monster Arts or rarely does. And he's also like $150, so like way more expensive than
Jesus.
most of them. So that's what made me second guess about it. But the one I'm super excited about, I still have to watch the anime, but the Singular Point one, the
Yeah.
Ultima. I want to see that one. The tail is so long with that, and that
Yeah.
was my favorite part about like the Earth Godzilla one. So yeah, I'll let you guys know. In that pile of loot, what I think I have. I also have the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett coming, and then I have. Let me see here. I'll go through it for you guys on what to expect. So yeah, I have those two guys from the Godzilla vs King Kong movie. Oh, this one. So most people don't care about this, but I love talking about them. Rebor's Carnotaurus from the movie Dinosaur. That I had shipped. So it's
The
like the
animated movie
yeah.
dinosaur? Oh,
So
that's cool. I like
it's
that movie.
painted like that one. Yeah, it actually is really cool looking. I'm really excited for that one to see how that is. I love that movie growing up.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
good one.
and then after Mezco announced like their Flash, Superman, and Batman from the Justice League after the Snyder Cut came out, I ordered the Aquaman on there, the Justice League Aquaman Mezco. So I have that
Oh,
coming, and that also is now sold out. And then I have the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Triumphant Mafex. And that one I actually forgot I ordered because so this will be my second one now.
wow.
Because I ordered the first one from Amazon Japan, and then yeah, deluxe Boba Fett. So pretty good haul there that we'll go over next show. I'll finally have something to show there for you guys.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice
that's
pickups.
all I had. But yeah, so yeah, Mario, did you get anything new?
Nothing small, but the new TVC wave with the Clone Wars. What is it? Ahsoka, Darth Maul, and I think the who's next? I think Echo and the
Mhm.
Offworld Jawa. That wave is supposed to be shipping sometime soon, so hope to get a case of that.
So I saw after it sold out, so you can't yell at me, but that Vintage Collection Bad Batch 4-pack went
Oh,
up again.
it did.
Yeah, it went back up for
Look at him.
order
Yeah, I know.
within
Fuck.
between this show and last show, and then it sold out again right away. So I would just keep looking back at that, Mario.
Mm-hmm.
I'll if I ever see it go up, I'm gonna I'll probably just order it for you right off the bat. But
Appreciate that, man. No, I hear that there's supposed to be more coming in stock next year, beginning of the year. So
Do you
Amazon
think
is pretty good
sorry,
with that.
Dylan. Do you think that they'll restock that one on Pulse? I forget what it's called. It's the fan vote one. Do you know the
oh, the
trooper?
Republic Trooper.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, dude, I forgot about that one.
that one
Shit, I
Pulse.
hope
So
so.
Pulse and Amazon both have a habit of going in and out of stock a lot. You just have to stay on top. Pulse, you have to stay on top of. As soon as you get those emails, like on a Friday or Thursday morning,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be ready. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if pre-orders go back up, or essentially once around the time when they're starting to come into stock, that's really when you want to watch them.
Yeah.
Amazon, it's the same thing, as they'll be sold out, and then it'll come about, a month before they go out.
I don't understand how the
And they'll come
original
back.
how the manufacturer can actually run out of stock. I mean, I understand
know.
it happens, but shouldn't they keep like in stock like
Making
all the
them?
time? I mean,
So
yeah, exactly.
I know, it's so you know how like companies like Super 7 have windows that they do. It's the same thing with like manufacturing them. A lot of times they can't just go to a factory and say, produce this figure till the end of time, even though it could probably sell to a certain extent. But most of the time that's pretty unrealistic, mainly because either they want to also have that same factory do something else for them, or someone, maybe they have a contract with another company that that factory has to get to, but they typically have windows that they have to produce the figure, and that's why you
Yeah.
see windows and cutoffs of like pre-orders and pre-orders selling out. I think when they see a lot of these crazy, like the crazy times, Hasbro took way too long to figure it out. I think like with GI Joes, and I think they've started, when things sell out that quickly, I think they've just taken the number of pre-orders and then essentially brought up that number from, instead of producing the number of pre-orders and then a few extras, now they're probably doing, hopefully anyways, a lot of pre-orders and then a lot of extras, because they know it'll sell, and I'm sure they're using the hype to feed off of each other as well.
Well, either way, I just renewed my Pulse Premium membership just so that way I can get those back in stock emails, like, and all of that, and then with
Am I
the
Rex? Am I
It's
Rex? Am I
legit.
Rex?
maybe I can give you. Okay, next time when we meet and I pick up that Fox, I'll give you the Rex.
All right, all right.
I'll have a Rex for you, sir.
Appreciate that, buddy.
The TVC Rex you guys are talking,
Yeah.
right?
The
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
that the
I
card
think
accidentally
Dylan
got ripped on.
somehow,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's one of my favorite stories ever.
Oh,
Mark said, I
man.
just got half the Tebow and Leia TVC wave from Walmart. Not sure what Pulse is doing. It's weird. I will say I have enjoyed Pulse after I've figured out how to kind of work it, with getting the orders and figures that I want out of it. Either you have to be right there and ordering on the spot, or you have to try and watch with those emails. Though that's usually kind of what you have to do, but they never are like the first ones to get it. That's, I think, what Sean
In
means.
stock, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, like they're it's like if you pre-order something from I pre-ordered that Rihanna, isn't that her name?
Hmm.
Not Rihanna.
Riri.
Iron Man.
Riri, yeah.
Riri Williams.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I pre-ordered her on there for Zach, and I'm pretty sure he already got one or two of them, like from stores or
And
elsewhere.
you still haven't got it?
No, and I ordered it from Pulse, and on Pulse they say August.
Wow.
So they're all over the. I know, like Hasbro. I think Fuji always makes fun of them for being all over the place. How they just like release whenever they literally do. They release whenever they want to. It never makes a ton of sense, but um, yeah, they'll it's a weird game for sure with Hasbro Pulse. I do like the free shipping. I like those emails. I've never wanted something off of Pulse and
Hmm.
not gotten it eventually.
Real
Maybe
quick,
not
real
right
quick,
away,
going to
but
Mark what he said earlier about getting TiVo and Leia TVC Wave. Oh no, he did say from Walmart. My bad. I thought he meant that he got them from Pulse. My fault. Never mind. I was about to say that I thought they were from Walmart, but he did disclose that. My bad, Mark. And Mark, yes, I do have Rex. However, there's a story behind that with me and Eddie, so there's a thing there. I'll tell you later.
You had
um
multiple Rex.
and
I
speaking of
do.
which, we're talking about TVC, so we don't have much for news on the plate here, but Mario, we were talking a little before the show, and then I connected a little bit with Letty when he was hopping on the week collecting weekly show. Is I want to do a show with both of you guys for how into TVC you guys are.
Both of us?
Bofa?
Bofa. I think that would be a lot of fun to do. Just do
That
a
Yeah,
would be
man.
show
really cool.
with a
Absolutely.
bunch of the big TVC guys. That's a huge market. And I think there's a lot that could be a lot of fun, kind of uncovering some of the in-depth things there that you probably don't get to talk about a ton, Mario.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'd love to come on whenever you want to do it.
Yeah, we got to get that plan. But, anyways, so moving on, Eddie, to your mixing and match, or I guess your mixing of like large and small stuff. You've said so many times that you want to get out of small figures and you just can't at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
But,
It's not gonna happen.
why? So, what did you have in mind when you were talking about that? Like, what are some of the things that you want to discuss with that?
Just like for anybody that collect both, do they think it's looks good or do you do that personally? Like, because I collect statues and 112 and 1/6. Would you display all of those scales together, or do you feel like the statues would make the 112 scale stuff look like toys, or the hot toy stuff? Even the statues make hot toys look like kids' toys sometimes. So I don't know. This is stuff I think about when I'm setting up my display. And to be fair, guys, I am like psychotic or something's wrong with my head because like I'm constantly like thinking about this little meaningless shit. So that's why I thought it'd be a good topic to see if anybody else, maybe someone in the chat or some people want to talk about it. I know Mario collects TVC and statues and hot toys, so and Sean collects like everything, and Dylan, you collect at least 1/6 and 112. So what do you guys think? Like I'll give you an example. Like I have the clone troopers, right? I have the Cody statue and I have a Rex statue on order. Do I Would you put those statues like on the shelf under the shelf with all the clone army and Black Series stuff and then have the hot toy to the side, or would you kind of like keep the statues over here and maybe the hot toys and the Black Series together, or separate all three of them? I don't know. This is things that I'm
So,
constantly thinking about.
okay, so to kind of summarize your questions are do you collect both small and big things, and then if so, how do you display them essentially, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sean, actually, I'll go first here, and then we'll just kind of circle back and we'll end with Mario, and then we'll go from there. But so for me, honestly, I'm a bad person to ask that to because my displays and collections are so are so sporadic as well. I've never had the room to display stuff until now in the house. And then as soon as I got here, I had to figure out how I wanted to organize things. Got the office organized how I want to, and then I ordered Maji cases. Now I'm going to be waiting probably half a year to a year on those. So I've always been able to only display one or like very few things at a time. Like it started in college actually, where I would just like my dorm room in college was like one of those community dorm rooms. It felt like where people just came and left all the time. Like there's always people in our room, and I would always set like a Hot Toys on my desk there. And then eventually I just started getting too paranoid about it because we had that many people like constantly going into our room all the time. But I remember I always had at least one of the Predators from the Predators movies, the movie, the new-ish one.
Yeah.
From like, what is it, 2010 or something?
Yeah, the one with Morpheus in it.
Yeah.
And the other dude, yeah.
Yep. I had the Berserker up, I had the Falconer up sometimes, and they're all like people were always asking about them like right away. You know, it was always fun for me to tell people that I collected or action figures, and then you know they sit there and judge you kind of, and then they come in and they see them and they're like, oh, that's actually sweet, you know, that sort of thing. So I've never been able to display a ton at a time, but my plan is to essentially very few things. I think you can overdo it. Like you can have too many characters with too many versions of them. Like I wouldn't want like a bunch of versions of Phasma, a bunch of versions of Vader, a bunch of versions of Boba Fett, a bunch of versions of that, of this. What I have essentially done with my collection is figured out what my favorite characters are. So in my case, it's Vader, Batman, and then essentially the Predators, if you count them as one, since they're all technically different. Predators and aliens. What I have decided to do, and then I guess what I've decided to do is get multiple versions of like those main ones. The big thing I want to do is my plan is to have a couple different Iron Man hot toys that I like, and then in its own kind of display have 3 quarter scales to represent the 3 big brands. I think I've talked about this before, but the Dark Knight Joker, Heath Ledger Joker, I have him in quarter scale hot toys, and I've been considering selling him to do the Queen Studios one.
Do it.
Yeah, that's not a question, dude. That's
Just
not
hurry up and
because
do it.
the way it sells for a lot, right?
I actually haven't even checked the market for a while.
It's like
you can probably, if you get the
six-ish.
standard version, the standard edition, that's probably an even swap.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Do it.
Do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been considering that, and then I want to do the Hot Toys quarter scale Iron Man Mark III. That one I don't have yet, and then I have the quarter scale Darth Vader. That one I'll probably never sell. That's like one of my favorites I've owned. But
All
so like
of those
the Vader,
have statues that I want coming.
the
I know we're all figure guys, but all 3 of those have really good statues coming.
I'll be honest, I have seen, I think, the statue of the Vader you're talking about, and so far, it's just my own opinion. Just my opinion. I have not liked. I was just watching Mario's face there.
Careful now.
I haven't liked how Vader statues came out. Either came out and he's looking like too dynamic in a way to where you've never seen him. Maybe besides like Rogue One, End of Rogue One, I guess. But I've just never like sat there and I've never seen a Vader statue and been like, holy shit, that's it.
Really? Okay.
I feel you. I feel
Not
you
yet.
on that one.
Yeah.
I think that there isn't holy shit that's it yet. I think there's very close. There's 2 that are very close, and that's where me and Mario disagree on them. But like,
Okay.
they're still the 2 best ones to me. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the Joker one, I think I like the Queen Studios one more than the Hot Toys one that I have now, and that's why I am considering that one. But yeah,
why are you still considering, man? I'm surprised you haven't sold it by now. Picked up
I
the
know.
Queen Studios.
Because he's a figure guy, dude. It's hard.
It's
the same scale.
I think it's the posability, though.
It's always the what, like, I know it's gonna look better. I should just do it because of that.
Yes.
For me, it's always just gonna be like, what if I do want to like pose him elsewhere or like in a different position? But that's like the one of the few characters where it really like he's in his perfect position in that.
Well,
he never
I
touches
believe
it.
Yeah.
Eddie that has a swap out too, right? So you got the option to either pull the grenades or just show a card. I mean,
yeah,
you can do that.
I don't know why you would do anything other than the grenades, if I'm being honest.
Exactly.
Because that's exactly what he would be doing if I had it.
That's what that piece was made for, is to show the grenades.
But yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from, Dylan. I just always figured like quarter scale shit doesn't pose that well anyway, so might as well go for the statue stuff, you know?
Yeah, that's probably true. I can definitely see that one. I've heard good things about the possibility of the Iron Man Hot Toys Mark III, but we'll see.
I was going to ask you a question, but I think you answered it when you were talking about how you display your stuff. So not only do you mix multiple scales, but you'll get more than one version of a character, like, and I mean like this and the Hot Toy, like the 332nd Trooper and the Hot Toy. You would get both, or
if I liked it enough. In that case, Eddie, the best thing I can compare that to, and not just because it's a trooper, but because I think it would look good in multiple versions like that as a display, is like a Death Trooper. I'm a big Death Trooper fan. That's always been my favorite. I know I said I really like Red and like Shock Troopers, but Death Trooper has always been my favorite. I still have a bunch of the old Black Series ones, like their first releases of them. I think I have an SH Figure Arts one. If that, I can't remember. I'd have to look which one it is again. It was really cheap. And then I have a couple Hot Toys ones. And then a couple other displays that I'd like, just random versions of Death Troopers that I'd put together, like Funkos or something like that I think that could look cool. Bunch of different versions. But I don't think like every character you could do that with, you know, because I think eventually it looks a little tacky, but that's my personal opinion. Sean, what about you?
So I've actually had to give a lot of thought into just this, because I've had to go through my entire collection now because we're moving, and I have a lot more shit than I thought. So what I think I'm gonna do moving forward is just have like different like, I guess themes or something like that. You know, I'll have my statues on one side and my my 12th my 6th scale stuff on somewhere else, and kind of like spread it out a little bit so it doesn't look like everything's too close to each other. But I'm thinking like a nostalgia kind of setup. So like with the Power Ranger stuff and the small soldiers, kind of keep them around each other. But as far as like the Hot Toys and the Marvel Legends I have and the SHFs and things like that, I think I'll definitely be pairing up my SHFs with my Marvel Legends, especially because they're for the in-game display. And if one's a little bit taller than the other, you know, just get creative with it and put them up on like a pedestal a little bit, you know, something like that, just to kind of offset the height and stuff. With the statues, I think I'm gonna try to mix them up a little bit and just see how it looks, because you know I have those Avengers Assemble stuff, and those are 5th scale, and I'm planning on getting some XM stuff that are quarter scale. So just kind of figuring out how they all fit in between each other. Another thing I was going to do is put like my CGC books behind the characters. That
looks really good. Yeah,
that I can
like
display. That. And like like Dylan said, I kind of want to get some Maju cases. I haven't like really tried to I haven't really tried to like look into it too much, but have like a CGC book next to Thanos, my favorite Thanos statue, or something like that, you know, or kind of mix it in to give it, I guess, a little bit more depth to whatever I'm going to end up building. But I think for me, it doesn't really matter as long as it doesn't look too cluttered. You know, if I spread it out, I think it's going to look okay. But other than that, I don't really care if it's out of scale too much. You know, like we were talking about the Ant-Man, the Ant-Man Hot Toys going in the in-game display, and I think it would be that one would be appropriate one to go ahead and do. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like the idea of doing the books behind the statues. I think that's a good idea. I always like a lot of statue collectors do that. That looks really good. I think you should do that, especially since you're a comic guy. I think it looks really good with the comic base statues. And then if you do movie stuff and you could put the posters or whatever behind it, that's cool too. But for me, I think it would mostly be troopers. And the reason why I kind of wanted to display them together was because I like the look of when they're in formation together. Like in season 7, when they have the 332nd and they have them all lined up as the squad in formation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that look for troopers a lot, so I thought if I get Black Series, I can get like 20 of them and put them in rows of 5 or 4 rows of 5 or whatever, and have them pose behind the hot toy. I think that would be really cool. So that's really the only small scale stuff that I pose with bigger scale. So I think it'll look fine if it's just that one thing, but then I just second guess myself a lot.
So that totally reminded me. So I don't have a ton of comic book stuff. I eventually want to, but this one I always had planned with Infinity War Thanos to be displayed behind him, and I never pulled the trigger, and I hate myself for it. So it's like a art print that was on Sideshow by Orlando Arocena, I think is how you say his last name. And I really wanted this one a lot, but I never did. But I thought this one would have looked awesome to go behind, like a hot toy Thanos from Infinity War. But I just had to throw that in there. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, no, it's a good print. What about you, Mario? What do you think about mixing scales?
I don't know, man. I mean, yeah. So right now in the Magi cases, I have my only 2 statues in the collection. They are mixed with the hot toys, and that's just because I don't want to have them outside. I want to put them like, behind something, right, in some sort of cabinet. Mm-hmm. But I don't plan that to be their final resting home. I'm actually reconsidering adjusting my Magi case order and just get max cases instead. Just for the statues that I want to get coming in.
Sorry guys, I don't know what that is. What is that, Mario?
So the Max series is basically one of the largest Magi cases that you can get. They're like they're made for like
statues.
What, Eddie, like 30 inches tall or taller or something like that, and they're
inside.
They're really deep.
Are those kind of like the ones like Jim Mint has? He has his Berserker stuff in.
Yeah. Those are the Max series.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm considering going down that route just to.
Well, let me know because maybe I'll be in the market for some.
Yeah. I mean, just to future proof everything.
I
wish I would have done that with the 6 scales.
How are you gonna get them to Texas?
I don't know.
Those fucking things. You could have come pick those up, dude.
I'll meet you in Arizona.
So what I plan to do, I'm gonna have an extra room available pretty soon, so I'll probably be moving some things around. I'll probably end up moving the Magi cases because I was doing a little bit of measuring over the weekend, and I've got a little bit of space on a wall over here, and I can fit that whole display there. And I was thinking about just kind of putting the Hot Toys there while keeping the TVC collection displayed. But ultimately, what I want to do, I want to have like each collection to have its own space, and I'm really not into the idea of mixing scales.
Mm-hmm.
However, when it comes to statues, I am so tempted by some of these Prime 1/3 scale pieces, and that's been on my mind to where do I want to go down that route, because that's another scale that I need to worry about. I'm
Yeah.
getting into, well, actually, the two mythos that I have, they're 1/5. The other pieces I have coming in are 1/4, so it's not that bad. But going 1/3, that's that's going to be something to consider, and I
You're
would
definitely
think
gonna
that,
need the Max series then.
yeah, exactly, or something. But I would think even if I did go down that route, I think I would just have everything completely separated. Like if I did go down 1/3 section here, quarter scale over here, and so on. But
So you don't have a character that you would display with all different
no,
scales?
no, I did.
Um,
I had my Darth Vader shrine, but that only consisted of the quarter scale Hot Toys figure, along with some of the what did I have? The Disney Legacy lightsaber with it, the holocron, a couple crystals, the Rogue One castle that I had. It's like somewhat of a it's a statue that lights
what?
up.
I want to see that
You want to see that?
someday.
I'll
Someday,
bring it. I'll bring
yes.
it. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'll come back and bring it.
It's
That
pretty cool.
It's a little small from
Yeah.
Disney, from the Disney parks I picked up.
how much is that one of those?
200,
Yeah.
but I got it. I was able to get the discount, so I think I got it for like one 160, I think, out the door.
Wow. Not bad.
So
That's pretty good.
yeah, that
Is
was
it
nice.
is it like long time sold out?
I don't think they're back. My last trip, I didn't really go look around for it, but I don't know if they're still available.
If they're back, hit me up. But yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
No,
no, but no, I think I just plan on. I would like to put everything in its own place. I'm really not too much of a fan of mixing scales like that with the same character.
sure. Yeah, and because you have like the TVC stuff and then Hot Toys
Hmm.
and statues.
Right.
Is
Dude,
there is there anything that you would own like TVC and Hot Toys and statues besides, I guess you probably would have Darth Vader, right?
Well, Dylan, I have a terrible attitude of being a completist. So yes, no matter I've got multiple characters or multiple pieces of the same character, whether it's in TVC, 6 scale, statues, not so much. But yeah, but
that's
Vader would
good.
be one I would have across all the different scales.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, as him being probably my
That's good
favorite
that you didn't take
character in
that
general.
completist mentality with you when you started statues, because that
I
would
can't,
be
bro. There's no way. That's
crazy.
not sustainable.
You run out of room so quick. It makes you
Exactly.
really pick what you like and don't like then. But
Exactly.
and that's one of the reasons, like, for whatever reason I went backwards more than most people to where I got into this company here. Good segue into the news. With Mezco was
Dylan's favorite
because,
company.
yeah, pretty much because I was able to not have to worry, like, do I really want this guy? And then regret not having one, like, later on, and then, or being on the on the threshold of kind of wanting one, but not really thinking I want one of Hot Toys. Like, I don't really think I need a Hot Toy version of it, but I still want one. That's where they fell in. But anyways, so this
Yeah.
one is moving on to the news. This one is the Mezco G.I. Joe Roadblock. This was a Mezco exclusive. He was up on their website for quite a few, I think 2 to 3 days. They had a pre-order window up. So it wasn't buy and ship. It looks like it's going to ship May to July 2022 for $95. He comes with quite a bit to try and justify that price. Is we've seen them kind of creeping up along with everyone else. But yeah, I am getting this one. I'm excited for them to try and expand on this line. The only thing that I think's a little awkward was no belt. This, like, his shirt into his waist, if you don't have like his straps on with his like vest, and I guess they call it like a duty belt and tactical vest. If you don't have those on, that kind of looks funky without a belt there. But I'm sure that's something you could totally fix or make not look awkward. And why would you have, not have any of these things on anyways? So, yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Not terrible for the money, but I think this is a good roadblock, good extension.
I like the turret
yeah.
gun. It looks
Yeah.
really cool.
There,
And I
don't
like
have
that
a-
you can make him every version of, or like different versions of him. That's super cool too, because you got to wonder, are they gonna? I mean, I'm sure they will, because they have their PX and they have their exclusives and their regular releases. So they're gonna do like how Hasbro's doing and do like the Cobra Island version, like the Snow Gear version. I wonder if they're gonna do that with all these guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing like you got to do with Snake Eyes. You have to have probably a couple different versions of that. We'll see. They've really slowed down on their PXs. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah.
But they've
Do you think
really
it's
slowed
because?
down on that.
Do you think it's because the PXs are usually the slower sellers? I've noticed it most of the time, and I'm not saying with every figure, because sometimes the PX is cooler, but a lot of the PXs are the ones that I think sell the least, in my opinion. There's usually.
That, and I think that it's also, I think they're starting to finally refine their order process straight through their website and probably saving themselves some money just going direct like that. So whereas like, this one may have been like a PX exclusive and they just did it a Mezco exclusive instead, maybe. Not entirely sure there. It is interesting that they even did this one as an exclusive. I know that I believe it is Hasbro who has the rights to GI Joe, like the full rights, and they have to. I'm sure they had some say in, in what to do with this figure, but I'm not 100% sure. But for example, you mentioned it, Eddie. Really good point on, you can have all the different versions of them, whereas the Hasbro version, the classified version, he has, I think, 3 different versions right now, and one's like without the armor on, one's with the armor on, one's colored differently, that sort of thing. That's exact like that compared to like this, where you can just get it all in one, almost as like just a deluxe version of it. That's why I wanted to go with Mezco GI Joes, obviously, besides being a fanboy. But
Equan had a question on Mezco in the chat. He said, "Is there any reason why Mezco refuses to let Amazon sell their products for a couple years now?" I haven't even noticed that.
I have not heard. You can find them on there.
Yeah.
I think it's just done by Diamond, and then what you can find their figures still on Amazon. It's just done elsewhere. I don't know. I'm guessing they don't want. They just kind of want to cut out the middleman. They don't need them at this point. But I honestly don't know. That's a really good question. They haven't really talked about that. I know for a while people were saying, hearing whispers about Mezco being really annoyed with some of their regular release figures getting put on Amazon for like $20 cheaper than retail.
Yeah, because it was the what figure? I want to say the Green Lantern, the Hela. The Hela from Thor Ragnarok was like $50 or $60 on Amazon for a while, and I never picked it. I always wanted to pick it up, but I never picked it up. But yeah, a lot of them would go on sale if they were on Amazon.
Yeah, and I think that bugged them too, because then it would be harder to move, and that's also why it's now harder to find some of their regular release figures, like their Thanos that has came out and starting to get in hand. That was a regular release figure, but he's pretty much going to be sold out before anyone has him in hand. In the States here anyways, or most people in the States. So that's always odd. Mark said, always easy for me to pass on Mezco. Sausage Fest, need chicks in my collection. Very fair. And that's pretty much all companies, right? That's not just Mezco. Very
I don't know.
underrepresented.
I don't know.
What's not
Mezco doesn't do like a lot of female characters though. They tend to not do them, and then
Wonder
they're
Woman,
usually
Catwoman,
not
multiple versions of
Oh, yeah.
each.
DC. They stick to DC female characters. They don't
You
do
just said
outside of it.
you just said Hella.
Well, that's an old figure, dude. Come on.
No, I know. I know, but like they have done less than other companies. I would probably agree there, but to be honest, females are pretty underrepresented across the way, and it could just be the way they sell as well. But Mezco, I don't want any more female figures until they fix the bodies.
Yeah,
They
that's a
get
good
they
point.
get us a better buck for them, and then I would really like them to see. I wouldn't even mind them like re-releasing a Catwoman with the new body, but yeah, I don't. I would say that's always one big thing that you can complain about with a lot of companies. Overall, Hot Toys is very bad with female figures as well for the most part.
Yeah.
But okay, so Mezco, we don't have much news here, but hey, 1/6 scale man, they did tease their MezcoCon 2021. So a lot of these
What's up, Leo?
companies, a lot of these companies this year seem to still be doing their stay-at-home con, obviously, because Comic-Con's not going on. So we're starting to see a lot of that kind of trickle in here. We'll probably by next show have a ton more, because when do they say Comic-Con? It's usually the second or third week of July, right?
It's like around the 17th, I thought. I
Okay.
don't know why I want to say that, but yeah, it's usually in the middle towards the end of July.
Yeah. So by next show, we'll probably be full scale into the con releases. We have a few going on here. Mafex, speaking of them, I guess we were just talking about them like an hour ago, but they teased Cyborg Superman. Scott, I know you're in the chat. I asked this question on a group and no one was able to answer. I don't know if this is from Reign of Superman or like the first appearances of Cyborg Superman, because if you look up Cyborg Superman, it says nothing about Reign of Superman. So I was having a tough time seeing what this is from. We'll find out obviously with the release, but it seems like this is just going to be from the Adventures of Superman version. But Scott, if you're in the chat, please correct us there. They also did a re-release-ish type thing, version 3.0 of the Batman the Dark Knight trilogy Mafex. Oh, my bad, Sean. I saw your name beside this just now. This one is $80 and due in July 2021. Hey, single songwriter. But okay. So this picture, this is 2.0 beside 3.0. I don't see a difference. I don't know. I think it's just honestly a straight up re-release. I couldn't find anything. I was looking through the groups. I was deep diving like in forums. I couldn't find anything on what's going to be improved, or if they just use the same pictures for promos. Not entirely sure what is going on there. If it's just, like I said, a straight up re-release and they're calling it 3.0.
Is anyone else noticing the position
bigger.
of his head? His head is like all to his left side like this, and like he's gonna crack his neck or
he's
something.
like
Kind of like he's leaning back a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, just doing the. I don't
Why you
know.
gotta hate on his gangster lean, dude?
Yeah, seriously,
Yeah.
look at him. He's all
He's trying to look good for Catwoman, dude. Come on.
So this one, for instance, I'm pretty sure version 1 and 2.0 were cheaper. They were like anywhere from I think they were like $50 to $60, and this is $80. So that's
Wow.
like an example of what I was talking about with Mezco or Mafex's price hikes. But yeah, that's pretty much all we had for Mafex. We'll hopefully have more news coming.
They're doing all three of them, right? They're doing a 3.0 of this. They're doing, aren't they doing Ra's al Ghul? They're doing Catwoman. I saw solicitations for all of these, so I don't know if they're 3.0 versions of all of them, but I just saw solicitations for all of them except
I
Joker, I think.
I did not see that anywhere. This was the only one that I saw a solicitation for the 3.0 version. I know they have obviously released though or came out with those ones before, but I have not seen them.
Uh, I'll pull it up, but I think it was I saw them. I saw an email from Toys Wonderland, and they were like listing all of them, or at least the Catwoman, Ra's al Ghul, and the Batman. So I am not sure if they're all getting. I just saw solicitations for all of them. So uh, let me see if I can pull it up.
Gotcha. Well, we'll move on. Correct us when you find out. To McFarlane. So we'll have to try and fly through these ones. Stop me, guys, if you want to discuss any of these ones. So we're starting to kind of get into a bunch of their releases. This one is Mortal Kombat Cabal Bloody variant. This one's a Target exclusive for $20, August 16th release date. And then DC Multiverse King Shazam, the Infected. Sorry, no, this one is the Demon Knights. I just swapped them around. Sorry. Also $20, October 6th. This one is King Shazam, the Infected, for $20 as well, October 6th. And then this one actually was probably one of the biggest release they had since the last show. This is the Justice League Darkseid. And this is the armored version. We had the version without his armor on before. They're calling this one SDCC exclusive, and it's already sold out on Target for Walmart, I believe it was, for $40. I wasn't able to find a release date because once it sells out on Walmart, they take that away, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, this one looks pretty sweet. This is the one I would have wanted. It kind of sucks that it's an exclusive, but we'll see. Does his spear, whatever this thing is, look like bowed in this picture? Kind of.
Yeah,
I
it's
hope
gonna
it
because
does-
it's plastic, dude. So
I know. I
Yeah,
hope
a
it
little bit.
doesn't come up, but again, it's McFarlane. You can't expect too much for the deal. $40 is pushing it, but I know this one is a bigger figure. I think they call these ones like their mega ones.
yeah,
And then this one's a Build-A-Figure. There's a Build-A-Figure and a regular version, I believe, of this one's Batman and Beyond Batwoman, releasing October 3rd, $24.99. And then here we go. Here's the big wave that everyone's been talking about. The Suicide Squad wave that we've been talking about the last couple shows, waiting for. We've just been having teases, finally having the actual releases. So I'll just kind of run through them quick here. So the wave of figures is there's a Build-A-Figure, King Shark, and then there's a release of King Shark as like his standalone mega figure as an exclusive. So there's two ways you can get King Shark.
and the exclusive comes with more, right? The exclusive comes with the severed arm.
Yes, he comes in. I believe he is bloody. So the pictures
Yeah.
I have
Oh, here
don't
we go.
show this. Don't show him bloody, but there's pictures elsewhere that I was able to find where it shows him like with a bloody mouth, and then he has one of these arms in his mouth.
What is the gold thing?
I'm not 100% sure. I think it's considered like a gold label, so it's like a Walmart exclusive version of it.
Oh,
Not sure about release date on this one either. But this one's $40. The rest of them are all 20. So yeah, it is cool how you can fit the
yeah,
thing
that's
in his
really
mouth.
cool.
And I'm guessing his jaw is like multi-jointed because you can see like the top layer of teeth here, but here you can't. So I know the jaw's
Oh,
like
that's interesting.
articulated, but I think like you can pull the top teeth down too.
Or do you think that the whole inside of the jaw is one piece, and that when you put the bottom up, the top goes up with it, and then you know what I mean. And then when you put the bottom down, the top comes down too.
Now that you say that, you could be onto something. Yeah, it's just like shifting it within it, like shifting it
Yeah,
in the
because it's like
chin.
one piece. So
Yeah,
if the bottom goes up, the top goes in. Yeah, I
I could
think
see
that's
that.
yeah.
That would be pretty cool because isn't that kind of like what sharks do anyway? Right? They
Their
have
teeth.
their teeth
Yeah.
kind of they move
Don't get me
around and stuff.
started. Technically,
Well, I was going to
technically
ask
their
you, Dylan, are you
jaw,
going to get this one?
technically their jaw unhinges, or like their jaw isn't attached to like their mouth. That's why when you see like a great white shark and you see his gums fly open, it's because nothing's attached there except for like skin.
Wow.
So it is
Why do
kind
you
of
know
like
this?
that. I
Why do you
don't
know
ask
these
me.
things?
National
Too
Geographic Smaller
too
Dog.
many years of Shark Week.
Wow.
But are you
But
going to pick that one up since it has the severed hand?
if I can find it, it's already sold out. It sold out very quickly, and it's a Walmart exclusive, so I'll probably never see that in my stores here.
And the last thing I was going to say, and we can move on after this, but I think it's kind of cool that they're kind of releasing around the same time. Is that right?
Yeah, so they're between Walmart and Target, the wave, it ranges from August 2nd to 16th, depending on where you go, what it'll say when they're all going to get released. But in that range, yeah.
It's better than like I guess what Marvel does is like if a build a figure is like super hot, right? And then they're like, well, we'll do the deluxe version of it a few months down the line.
Exactly. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it is nice. I see what you mean, Sean, by like doing the king shark in its full and the build a figure at the same time. So you have essentially two ways of getting them. Yeah, that's cool. So then I'm just gonna rattle these off. These are all $24.99 from Suicide Squad. So there's Peacemaker Unmasked version, which is an SDC exclusive as well, still available on Target or at Target. And then there's the masked version. So this is John Cena's character, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks like they come with the same Build-A-Figure accessories, both King Shark's arms, but the unmasked comes with an axe, and then the regular one, or the masked one, comes with a sword.
That's cool. So you
Yeah.
can pick and choose which one you want and still get the build. You don't have to get all of them to get the build a
Right.
figure. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice they don't pigeonhole you there. And then, so Polka Dot Man is also still available.
By far the coolest in the entire wave. This guy.
It's interesting. I'm excited about it. It is. They definitely gave him like the biggest piece of King Shark. They're probably, don't they typically give like the best build a figure accessory to the one they think will sell the
So
least?
do they? Oh, I never even noticed that. I think this is gonna be the one to get. Watch.
You think
'Cause
so?
Polka Dot Man is such an obscure character for DC, I think. And is there very many figures of Polka Dot Man, like the comic version out there? So I feel
No.
like this is this is gonna be the guy people want, I think.
Yeah. No, that's like Gun's specialty, is make you care about these types of characters, right?
Yeah.
And then so there's two versions of Bloodsport. There's the Unmasked, which was a Walmart exclusive, and then the Masked. And I don't think these accessories changed. Again, both with Build-A-Figure accessories, and then his, I don't want to call them katana swords, but swords that he comes with. And then Harley Quinn last. It's her in her dress, and then she comes with like the whole bottom half of King Shark, and then like a spear thing. So, kind of interesting wave. Kind of a fun wave, though. We'll see how the movie turns out. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, I think people will want these more after. I have quite a bit of trust in James Gunn, and I think that people are actually going to care about the characters when we're done. I'm super excited, obviously, for King Shark, but yeah, if I can find King Shark, I'll get him. I'll kind of post him up on the show here if I get him and let you guys know. But So Super 7, this one I'm gonna rattle off as well because there's not a whole lot that we collect or typically care about for what they released for Comic Con. They're calling it their spectacular kind of sort of still at home Homic Con. The first thing that's going to get released is July 21st, and that is like a it's this thing, it's like a vinyl, large, supersized vinyl Mickey Mouse. It's like $250, I think. Pretty spendy, but
Wow.
going up July
1-to-1
21st.
scale? Is that?
Yeah, I think it's technically supposed to be, but who actually knows? You never really see Mickey Mouse with people besides in Fantasia.
It's big. That's the
But
point.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
it's real big. Big.
You hear
3
that, Sean?
p.m.
He's competing with you, man.
3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on July 21st. That's when that one's going to go up. And then you'll see some of these in this picture here. I'm just going to go down the line. So Godzilla reaction figure, finally. We talked about that one, what they're going to do. It is reaction. It's the Shogun Godzilla that they're starting off with. And then there's 2 t-shirts, Kaiju Rorschach, and then Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Both Toho ones, so Godzilla related. And then Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reaction. There's a Red Ranger and a Green Ranger, both battle damaged. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Super Cyborg Megazord, and that's a red clear version because they have the regular version of him. And then Mighty Morphin Power Rangers long sleeve T-shirt, and it's the villains. And then Thundercats reaction figure Groon, and then Czar face reaction Czar Noir. Don't know. That's I think he's like a rapper or something. Don't know anything about him. Ghost reaction figure Papa Emeritus, and then GPK reaction figure Atom Bomb Red version of him, and then Killer Bootlegs reaction with Phantom Star Killer, and then let's see here, Captain Dead Star with War Jaguar. That's what you see here with their red figure, and then a bunch of Army of Darkness ones: Pit Witch, Deadite, Scout, Ash, and then this TMNT one is actually pretty cool. So it's like a carrying case that would hold all your reaction figures, and it comes with a metallic TMNT turtle.
Cool.
Like the gold on him is metallic, I think. But yeah, so that's what they had. And now moving on to stuff, Sean, since I kind of stole a segment away from you, I'll let you cover these ones if you want.
Yeah, so they're coming out with their Mighty Morphin Power Rangers line. This is the first wave. It's the wave one is has a pre-order window of June 29th through July 30th for spring 2022. We kind of talked about this on the Collecting Weekly Facebook page a little bit. Someone had asked if these were going to be worth getting. And I think initially I was like, yeah, this is really cool. This is probably something I'd pick up. And then Dean even kind of spoke up. He's like, well, for the price that they're asking for, at least the initial price that they're asking for, it seems like a kind of a lot. You know, it's like, I think it was like $55. And I think with the Lightning Collection stuff out, it's a better value. You know, I think the only thing that's really new here is the T-Rex, the Red Rangers, or but you still get the Goldar with his wings. I think he looks the best so far. I really like the gold on him and the little red accents, and then his wings look like they have a little bit better mechanism going on than what the Lightning Collection stuff had. I will probably pass on this, being a Power Ranger fan, just because I already have all of these as a Lightning Collection, so I don't need doubles that are slightly bigger. So, but I think if you like a little bit bigger figure and you want to spend a little bit extra money, get something a little bit better than a a Lightning collection and not have to pay the 1/6 scale price, then it might be a good buy for you. And they also come
Yeah.
with a bunch of accessories too. And I think that's the other thing that's cool. Um, I think the Yellow Ranger kind of kills it because you get the Trini head sculpt, and I think it's the Aisha head sculpt. I
Mhm.
can't remember which character it was, so you can switch between the two. And for the unhelmeted versions, you're going to get a bunch of weapons like their little dagger guns. Trini has her I forget what they're called, like little daggers, I guess. They're little spikes and stuff. She also comes with some flowers, a little gnome. I don't remember what that's from, and a few sets of hands. And then with the Green Ranger, he's also fully loaded, and he's actually going to have some swap out arms that you're going to be able to get. He's going to come with the dark power saber or power sword that he gets from Rita early on in the show, and this other darker sword. I don't remember where that was coming from. Along with a few guns, two head sculpts, and his dragon dagger.
Well, some of this is the difference between the anime and or like the Japanese version and the American version, right? Maybe that's what the sword is from because I don't
I
remember the dark sword either.
Right, I think so. I also don't recall it from the comic book either, so I would guess it was probably
Oh,
a swipe from the
well
Japanese version.
the
But they're also different Rangers over
the
there.
yeah the other head is the dark ranger, right? It's or the head with the bandana and everything.
Right.
That's I don't know what the name for it is because I don't remember that, but maybe that's what
They
the sword is for.
so they call it on their website good Tommy Oliver head and evil Tommy Oliver head.
Evil Tommy.
Yeah.
And then the swords. So this is what Super 7 does is they base a lot of their stuff off of old toys. So Dragon Dagger, and then there's a Dragon Dagger classic toy inspired, and then a Dragon Shield and a Dragon Shield classic toy inspired, and then a Blade Blaster classic toy
Well,
inspired.
and
See, but none of those are the sword.
Sword of
Oh,
Power or
my bad.
Sword of Darkness with soft goods tassel.
Also, the
well,
sword of power is the black one then.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
what I'm kind of noticing, like with the white, the little white blasters, those were kind of like what the original toy Rangers had. Like I think
Mm,
with the flip heads,
Oh,
or
okay.
like I think
Yeah,
they were like 8 inch. They had the little white uh,
yeah.
blasters and stuff, and it wasn't until a little bit later did they start coloring them in, get the red, the white, the black on it. I also really like it looks like he's going to have an extra chest shield, and it has more of a vibrant gold um, paint apps on it.
yeah, it's more so like a shoulder piece type thing.
Right. And I'm wondering if that's not from like the special edition ones that they've come out with, like what Hasbro has come out with for I think it was Forever Green they called it. So I'm not 100% sure if that was closer to that. But
Hmm.
I think these are really cool with how much accessories you get. I just don't know if I want to spend the money on it.
I think
Yeah.
the shiny thing. I think that's the difference between the Japanese version and the American. I
Hmm.
think that in one of them, so maybe in the Japanese version it had the shinier gold, because that's
Maybe,
what
yeah.
Foosh was saying anyway when he was
Okay.
talking about him.
Yeah, I nothing retains with me with Power Rangers. I was never into them, so I'm really bad. But I can see the point. What were 3 zeros? $100, right? Each 120 or
Yeah, they're
something.
little. They're 125, I think. They're like
Yeah.
around there.
So these ones they make their money off of obviously like be giving you any and everything you would want from them. That's why they're part of their like ultimates line. Is that's
Right.
essentially what it's supposed to do. We've talked about that a while. Is we always have compared um, Super 7 with like NECA, for instance,
Hmm.
and we we've always said, are they really worth like $10 to $20 more than NECA figures? But the one thing is like 3-0, you're not gonna get this
No,
much
you're not.
like with them for accessories. Am I right? With them, it's been a while since I've looked at the listings, but that's one thing you're gonna want. This will be something for a smaller display, and then obviously giving you the ability to display them exactly how you remember either the show or your own toys. So it's the pretty much pure nostalgia. If you're a fan of nostalgia, that's where Super 7 has their niche.
Yeah, and it's different scale than Hasbro, right? It's different.
Right.
It's a little bit
7-inch,
bigger.
yeah, and Sean mentioned that, but he didn't really. He said he still didn't want just a little bigger.
Jesus. It's either huge or nothing at all.
Sean likes it giant.
Wow.
I hate you guys.
Poor Sean. Sean's just chilling. Okay, so real quick, so these are all $55 each on Super 7's website, except for all of them. Just kidding. They're all $55. I think we were thinking that the Goldar, because it's a little bigger, I think it's 8 inches tall, is going in the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord. We thought those two are going to be a little bit more when these got teased, but it looks like they're going to be the same price, so that's kind of
This
cool,
is cool.
Well, yeah.
I like this. I think this is the best thing then out of the how many did you 5? Yeah, this is the coolest one.
And I like that I like how the Tyrannosaurus and Goldar are both going to be like the 8-inch size, because what it seems like they're going to try to do is make him the size of maybe like the Megazord, so no one's really come out and tried to do something that matches the Zord size. So maybe it's more of like one of those final battle things where they fight Goldar and in the Megazord and stuff, as opposed to like having it just like regular 6 scale and having them all like regular size fighting on the floor. And this would be a cool idea with kind of how we were talking about scaling, how this might fit in, because now you would have your Zord and your Goldar as if they were fighting in the Zords.
That's a good point. I would never thought of that. That's a good point. That'd be cool for toy photographers to do stuff like that. Also, I believe the chest piece opens on the dinosaur, right? To show I think it shows all of them, all the Rangers inside.
I think that was the cyborg one, right? Is that the one they were calling the cyborg one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I believe that's their what's it called? One of the Borg Megazord. It's like their regular Megazord, I think.
Oh, okay.
I just noticed this too. You get the 2 little smaller figures. They're kind of like summoning the Zords.
Yep, that's the big thing that they advertise.
Okay, so I might have to get this one. I might have to get the tigers. Or not the tigers, or the Tyrannosaurus. I might have to get that one.
I like that it comes with the coin for the Zord. That's cool.
Yeah, they probably had to throw something else in there. So yeah, this one is 8 inches tall as well, like what you were saying, Sean, but it does get longer. I didn't know that Goldar grows.
Yeah, so it's like with I guess this would be can you go back to Goldar? Go back to Goldar real quick.
It's the way you said it, dude.
I know.
8 inches, but it gets bigger.
What's cool about the Goldar though is that you have both the wings and his little like back nubs. I don't even know what they were. He loses his wings at one point, right? And Lord Zed gives them back. So you can kind of like mess with the legends, or not the legends, the Lightning collections, Rita and Zed, and they can, how she makes him grow. She throws her little magic wand down to to Earth, and then Zed has like a little bomb that he throws down there, and it makes them grow. So every now and then, Goldar gets to go in there and fight them.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Do you know anything about this guy? So this is Putty Patroller. Oh no, yeah, Putty Patroller.
So there were certain episodes where, you know, they try to make them blend in with everybody else. They just don't do a very good job at blending in. But there was an episode where
Is that what the hat is for?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the jersey
And-
and stuff.
yeah, the
What an
jersey, they
idiot.
played a football game. Like there was I can't remember what villain it was, but there was a villain that they had to take the football away from the putties because like they turned the coach or something into the ball, or I don't know, something like that. But so they had jerseys on, and the hat and the looks like a little bandana. There was an episode where they went, I think, back in time a little bit, and they were in like the Wild West, so they were wearing bandanas and hats and stuff like that.
Mm.
And you could also make them the Z
The-
patrollers, the
yeah.
Z patrollers. So that's cool
Yeah.
too.
I was just gonna say that at least 3 of these figures you have to get multiples of. I mean, if you're like a
Right.
super Mighty Morphin fan, like you have to get at least 2 of the green, 2 of the yellow, if you're just doing this line and you want both the characters. And then how many putties do you get? Because you can have 2 putties and then 2 disguised and then Zed putties. So it's like, holy shit, dude.
With the
This putty figure is a huge army builder.
with the Lightning collection, I bought 5 putties.
Yeah, that's that would be close to 270 if you did 5 of
Of
these
these.
putties. That's crazy. I wonder if there's someone out there who's going to do that.
Yeah, that. I hope this turns out well. They have a ton of villains, right? That they can like branch off to.
There's
Yeah.
multiple villains.
The nice thing is the other thing with Super 7 that you know you're going to get is, like someone was saying in the comments, like, oh, I'm doing 3-0. I hope they make some of the villains. That's the problem. What's that quote from Grumpier Old Men? You can wish in one hand and shit in the other and put them together and see which one feels first.
Dude, I love that movie, and I do not remember that quote
It's
at all.
it's the dad, the old guy who says it at the grocery store.
You're right. He does. Yeah, you're right.
But that's the thing. Like with that, you're wishing with that. There's probably a 75% plus chance you're gonna get more from Super 7. If you want the full everything,
Yeah.
that's where you're gonna have to go with Super 7 because they will produce anything that you want, especially if it sells well. But they will, like obviously 3-0 will too if it sells well, but they will keep doing this, and probably for this price. I can't see 3-0 keep coming out with them at 120, 150 bucks. That's
Well, and I
not
think it's
going to stay.
easier on Super 7 to start coming out with the villains and have them come out quickly. You know, I think on a 6 scale size with 3-0, I just don't really think you're going to get them that quickly. You know, because I kind of feel like with 6 scale, the point is to have a higher quality product, I would say, for the money, right?
All right, yeah.
So I don't know if you necessarily need a villain for the Power Rangers in that scale. You know, like I think with Marvel or DC or these other movie lines that even like Hot Toys is doing, like it makes sense, you know. But with something like Power Rangers, I just don't know if it would be worth picking up a villain unless you just like really like that villain on a 6 scale or on a 6-inch scale. It makes sense because, you know, you can drop them in multiple waves.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And Doc corrected us. He said $99 each for 3-0, $129 for the exclusives.
Oh, so it's cheaper.
Aquan said, "Is anyone ever gonna pose their figure with that gnome thing or the flowers?" Toy photography is growing and it's getting bigger. ESPN not too long ago, probably like a year ago, shared like a big toy photographer's picture on their Instagram and social media pages. So,
And I
Well,
just
like,
noticed they had the
that could be
morphers
a
right
way.
there too.
yeah. They come
Yeah.
there is a ton of reasons. I don't think you can compare the Hasbro versus these versus 3.0. Like 3.0
Yeah.
shouldn't even be a comparison because it's 6 scale. Either you want 6th or you want 1/12 or 7-inch or whatever. But Hasbro, you're getting what, 2 accessories and some hands, maybe? Like
Right. And
you're
the
getting
lightning, the little lightning effects that don't even hold their form.
even well, Dean had mentioned in that post too in the group, he was like, these are super these are not super articulated characters or super articulated figures, and these are very like I don't remember what word to use, but the Power Rangers
Dynamic?
move
Didn't
a
he say
lot. Dynamic,
dynamic?
yeah. These are not very articulated figures for a dynamic character. I don't think that the Power Rangers were that dynamic. they did like they did some cool stuff, but if you go back and watch it, it's mostly like kids, like, you know what I mean? Like they barely fight. It's not like they're doing super crazy kung fu in these fucking shows, you know what I mean? So I think
Right.
the articulation you're getting with them is good enough, and you're getting a shit ton of accessories. So
I think that's a good point. I know for like the villains, they're pretty bulky and they couldn't really move that well. One because they were in the suits and stuff,
yeah,
but they all were doing like the martial arts and stuff like
yeah.
that. So um, a lot of those jumping forwards and things like that. So very straight lined stuff
So
sometimes.
he was saying these aren't going to be very dynamic.
Yeah. He's saying that
I think
these
it's.
Super 7 figures won't be articulated enough for a dynamic character.
I think that's to be decided. I think it's going to be a lot more dynamic than you think.
He probably just
There's-
poses like John, dude, and he can't get his
Well-
figures in it.
Well, like, look at what they got some of these in like some like this one, the Yellow Ranger in this picture is in a pretty good pose. I think it looks. I could see like the diaper, like the hip area, being a little tough, but I think it's gonna be better than you think. But yeah, we better move on.
Yeah.
It'll be good. Good to see this grow over time. Hopefully, it does well. And it'll be some more talk. So. Yeah, Sean, if you want to kind of take over here.
So for Bandai, the DBZ reveals the Super Saiyan God Son Goku for $50, and I hope I'm saying the name right. Is it Wiz? How do you
Whis.
say?
Whis.
How do you say it?
Whis.
Whis.
Yeah.
See, and he is also going to be $50. I did not watch any of this series, so Eddie,
Either.
can you give me a little bit more context on these guys, or
I
do
can't.
you know?
I know Whis is a god, right? I know that. I don't know. I didn't watch Super either. I watched Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and that's it. So I just know that Whis is a god and Beerus is a god.
And I've seen these figures at the shop. A lot of times we'll get them in loose, and they pose really well. If you know how to do some of like the kicks and the flips and things like with the base and stuff, they look really well. They look really good, I should say.
And Whis and Beerus are expensive figures, so getting a reissue or some form of a re-release on these is cool for people that are getting into the line now, because Beerus and Whis were going for a good amount at one point. So, and Nappa too, right? Nappa was also a very expensive one for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, Doc. These are SH Figure Arts. These were some of their Comic-Con releases. So it's total of 4 Figure Arts DBZ releases they had. Nappa was the other one, Beerus, Whis, and Super Saiyan God Son Goku.
And Nappa, he was part of the Ginyu Force, right? Is that what it was?
Oh, okay. So Mark is saying Beerus is a god and Whis is his secretary. Not sure if he's a god or not.
Okay. So Beerus is also coming in at 50, Nappa for 70, and it looks like they all go up for pre-order on 7/22.
Yeah, July 22nd. They go up at 9 p.m. EDT, which is 6 a.m. If you're in, I think Pacific Standard Time is 6 a.m. I think. But they're only up for 3 hours. The pre-orders open for 3 hours, and then after that, you can't get them. And then they release the end of the year, I think it was, right? Q4 2021, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's what the listing said when you sent the picture in the chat of them. But yeah, that's interesting that they're only available for a super short window. I thought that was like a mistype by you. I'll be honest.
Oh no, yeah, I made sure to put it in there because it's only a 3 hour window. That's weird, but yeah.
Yeah, 9 p.m. EDT to 11:59 p.m. EDT.
Yeah.
July 22nd, August 2021 release. So that's a pretty quick turnaround too. So these are already made and everything, ready to go.
Well, I think they're
it's,
essentially re-releases, just repaints.
So chat can maybe help out too with this, but if they're a god, would they just be able to like destroy Goku anytime they wanted, or are they like super all powerful?
I think that
Sick.
the thing, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
Gotcha.
I think,
Okay.
So a lot of the guys were talking about it at the shop when Dragon Ball Super was what was it coming out like weekly or every other week or something like that? I can't remember, but I think this is how like Goku goes through his other stages. Like he just gets stronger and stronger. So
He trains with Beerus. I know he does that. Because Goku's thing is he's only. Oh, here we go. Goku's god level now with Ultra Instinct. So that's what he uses them for, is like he trains until he can get to their level.
To fight the big bad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here Dean is answering for us. Technically, but Goku and Vegeta have gotten so powerful, it'd basically be a fair fight now.
That makes sense why it's Super Saiyan God Son Goku, right?
Yeah.
Probably doesn't even like exist in the same thing, but yeah, sorry for our incompetence on Dragon Ball Z, but
sorry,
we
dude.
gotta cover it. It's a huge brand.
Yes.
A lot of people like it, so
And a lot of people in our group collect DBZ, so
yeah, for sure. So this one, sorry, Sean, I'll just kind of explain this one quick because it is kind of confusing. So this one is a 6-pack set of 3 different stands that they're doing for their SH Figure Arts. There's 2 of each of these 3 in the 6-pack, so it's a Mark or a Goku Mark, a Whis Mark, and a Saiyan Pod that they're all for, and it comes with 2 of each for $42. And this is part of the event exclusives. So, sorry, I just wanted to kind of do that because I put that on the show sheet in a way that probably only I would have been able to understand. My bad. But yeah, you can get this one if you want, Sean.
So Marvel is also dropping their Black Widow snowsuit. It is a web exclusive. It's 6,930 yen or $119 on Big Bad Toy Store, due for December 2021. Have either of you seen the movie yet?
I'm going to see it tonight just because I couldn't wait. So
we gotta hurry up and round out the show here.
Yeah. It looks like in the trailer, it looks like she uses this quite a bit, but I just don't know what the context is. I mean, we're just so used to seeing her in her Black Widow suit, right? It's cool to see her in something else. It almost gives off like vibes of GI Joes, I feel like.
That's a good point.
But
Snake
she
Eyes.
comes with some kind of like I guess
Storm.
it's like a whip, and it also has 2 handguns.
Shit.
Which
I
is like
think
basic for any Black Widow release, right? The two guns,
right.
same guns that they've released with every.
She can use that whip anytime on me. No.
Jesus,
I didn't know they call
you
this
and
the
redheads,
snow.
dude.
I didn't know that they call this the snowsuit, so that's kind of spoiler-ish.
So,
well,
Dean
if you
messaged
watch
me really
the-
quick. Sorry, guys. Dean is interrupting the show to say Whis isn't a god. Whis is an angel. Beerus is a god of destruction.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, thank
we've
you for
upset
the
we've
clarification.
upset Dean.
Anyway. Damn it, now I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Move on.
Oh yeah. So real quick, so yeah, you said this one is an exclusive. To be specific, it's a P Bandai exclusive. Japan P Bandai.
Yep.
So
Is that
that's
different
why.
than a web exclusive?
Um,
Isn't that what a web
no,
exclusive?
Bandai is
no.
like
So
their-
yeah, like P Bandai is their like web exclusive,
Right.
but it's just confusing because you can have like so there's P Bandai now for both North America or US and for like Japan, right? Japan P Bandai exclusives we cannot get here, and they will have exclusives to just Japan P Bandai. We will have exclusives to our US P Bandai. I hope this is making sense.
No,
And so
I get what you're saying.
when they're web exclusives for Japan P Bandai, that's why you see this one upcharged so much on Big Bad Toy Store for $119, because the yen that this goes for on Japan's P Bandai is closer to like 70 US dollars. To where, yes, like $63.02 right now. That's what it should be at. And so what Big Bad has to do, I think we've talked about this before. Zach and Dean always bitch about it, but they buy this in its full price and then they sell it for a little bit of profit.
Yeah. But you can get it for 63 or whatever the price is on like Ami Ami, Anime Export, things like that, right?
But
I don't think so, because I think it is exclusive there, and it would be it would be a little bit more expensive there too. But I think typically with these ones, we'll talk about it later when we get to Storm. Bluefin will sometimes get these in for a little under Big Bad Toy Store, but a little bit still over the 63 that you'll have to do. Right. But let me know, Eddie, if you can or not on there. I think you may, but it still may be a little bit more than what it should translate to.
On Anime Export, it's 7,980 yen right now.
7,980. So that's
like $80.
Bucks.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. 72.
Probably 80 to 90.
And then shipping from shipping is usually like $12, I think.
Yeah, so still cheaper to go those routes if you can. The only thing is I don't think Amazon Japan usually isn't an option for that, but
oh, okay, good to know, because that's how I'm ordering shit now. So
it's just pure like research is how I've had to figure this out. There hasn't been a whole lot of discussion on the P Bandais and how confusing they are. It's kind of weird. You'll hear P Bandai, and then you have to figure out, okay, is it Japan P Bandai or is it US? Okay. And that makes a big difference. So yeah,
and then they're coming out with the Marvel's coming out with their Tech-On Avengers Iron Man, due to release Q1 2022 for $94.99. The comic has not released yet, but it's starting to look a little bit more interesting to me with the way that they're doing. I saw some early panels of it, and these look cool. I just also feel like they look a lot like I said before, the what are they called? Those
What?
I don't remember what they're called
Oh,
now.
you're talking
The
about Amazing Yamaguchi, right?
yeah. They look like amazing Yamaguchi, and I mean, I think it's great to have another Iron Man suit and put in the Hall of Armor kind of stuff, but I would wait to see how the comic is before I would pick this up.
Yeah. So this one is well, we covered on one of the shows. This is coinciding with the comic that is starting up with the
Right.
tech on Avengers. They tease the Captain America, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of the Captain America look, but this one I am. I actually kind of do like how this Iron Man looks. I think this would be a fun figure. You could get this
Right.
one and not know a damn thing about it, and I think you could still have fun with it.
He reminds me a lot of the I think they called it the Prime suit. It's
Mm,
kind of like what the Nano suit is
yep,
loosely based
was
off of.
supposed to be. Right,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good call there. And yeah, cuz he's got like this big backpack with these rocket thruster looking things, and yeah, it's an interesting looking figure overall. It looks like there's a lot of pieces, a lot of moving parts to him that you can mess around with and have fun with, but so moving on to NECA here. I did want to throw this out. I shared this in Collecting Weekly Auxiliary, the Facebook group. Join that if you have not, by the way. They answered someone asking them, curious before I hit up eBay for 20 plus year old The Thing figures to accompany McGrady, which NECA released already. Should I hold off? Just curious. And NECA tweeted back, Randy said, hold off. So that typically means there are more coming. So I just thought that's good to know.
I actually saw that figure in a Target
did?
the other day. Yeah, the thing, the one that you liked,
Yes.
the Kurt Russell or whatever. I never seen that movie, so
Oh my god, I love that movie. That's one of my favorite like horror slash like thriller movies,
the
I would say.
the box is really cool. The box is all like metallic, and I thought that was really cool because I've never seen like NECA do anything like that. So it looks holographic, the box, and then the figure looks really good. All the accessories and stuff it comes with. But yeah, it was the first time I had saw it in stores.
Yeah, like I'll say this to people, if you are a fan of the thing and you like, let's say they start coming out with other characters, the alien versions of the alien thing, like things like that from, or I guess the thing. If you like want those, McGrady's mostly, he's like one of the main characters that's going to be a must, and that one I could see as being like something that people are going to regret not picking up. That's the downside of starting off with kind of your A-lister, your number one. But yeah, Eddie, you gotta watch the thing someday. Let me know what you think if you do. So honestly, not a lot of people will say this, but I like both the 1982, I think it's 82 version, and the new one. I didn't mind either one of them, but definitely watch the first one, the original one for sure, and first.
All right.
But yeah, no, it's good. And then, real quick, I'll run through the rest here because I don't think any of us have super big interest in them. Chat, you can chime in. But TMNT cartoon Napoleon and Attila, August 2021 release, it looks like. This will be a 2-pack that they'll do. And then a TMNT cartoon Chrome Dome. This guy is going to be 10 inches tall and due mid-August. And then they announced something kind of different. They've done Pan's Labyrinth stuff before, but this one's apparently going to be, in quotations, a premium action figure format with deluxe added elements. So this is a Pan's Labyrinth Fawn, which is 9 inches tall, and then Ophelia 5 inches 2-pack, due July 2021. So this should be coming anytime here, but pretty interesting. I tried to watch Pan's Labyrinth, and I couldn't get super into it, but it's kind of spooky. Have you guys seen it at all?
I have
No.
not.
Jesus Christ, Danny, about time. I tuned into your show all night last night, Danny. Just kidding. But we'll hear a word from our sponsors, and we will be right back.
It's Watto Scrapyard, Annie. We want to thank our friends over at Watto Scrapyard for sponsoring tonight's episode.
You can find them on Instagram at Watto Scrapyard. They're also on Facebook and eBay as well.
Yeah, man, they make 3D printed parts for hard-to-come-by Kenner and Hasbro vehicles, which is a huge help when you're looking for those lost pieces. They also make printed head sculpts of literally anybody you could think of.
Literally anyone. They've made a head sculpt of me. They've made head sculpts of PewDiePie for you. They've made all kinds of Jedi, all kinds of characters from the Star Wars universe. They are absolutely amazing. They can get any sculpt you want designed and printed for a reasonable fee today.
God damn it. Just searching through that, I've said that I was always going to get a Hiya Toys figure, and then I saw them in person. I was like, oh, I can hold off with them because they do really good, or they do a ton of Alien Predator stuff. Well, while we were sitting there, I saw pictures from Alien Covenant. They're xenomorph / praetomorph figure, and god damn it, I want it now. I'm kind of mad about it. Anyways, okay, so we don't have Sean's collecting comics segment anymore. Sean, you got to figure out if you want to do something with that now, or if you just want to kind of go about and talk about figures. It's up to you. So without that anymore, we will just move right on to Hasbro. They announced PulseCon 2021 coming. I don't have the exact dates yet. That's I didn't find any at the time I pulled the information for it. But I'll check in with you guys and let you know if I find that out. They announced a couple of things here. So Transformers and Jurassic Park crossover. They are calling it Tyrannicon Rex and JP93. So it's like the Ford Ranger. Isn't that what it is? No, Ford Explorer.
Yeah.
From the movie, the green thing. And they're like Transformer figures.
Yeah.
Kind of fucking wacky figures. But so they released these ones. I don't believe they're available quite yet.
I think they're sold out, actually.
Really? Oh, I think I did see that when I was trying to find information about it. You might be right with that. But I put this in the group, and I think Zach commented, absolutely not.
Yeah, he did. I think they're cool. I like what they're doing with the different IPs with Transformers. I think it's cool. I don't want them, but I think they're cool.
Yeah, same.
It's a good way for... Think of it this way, Zach. It's a good way for a company to make money on sculpts for things that they already have, that they can just make this and paint it and like be 100% money for them. So they can make shit that actually we want that costs money for them to do. They'll do it because they do shit like this that makes them money. You know what I mean? So that's the way I think about it, or I try to anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I wouldn't get this, but the T-Rex, when it's transformed into the T-Rex, isn't offensive, I would say, at least. Okay, so Power Rangers, they came out with these. And this is the Lightning Collection, I believe, right, Sean?
Yes.
So this is Phantom Ranger, Green Ranger, Yellow, Pink, and then Eye Guy was the other one that they all released. So all of them except for Eye Guy are $22.99, due Q1 of 2022, and then Eye Guy is $31.99. But you guys were talking about Eye Guy. Do you guys know anything about him?
I don't remember him. I know Sean does. I didn't remember him from the show.
He has a little accessory that comes with him, is like a floating eyeball, and that was like the big thing I remembered, because it was like I can't even remember what he did, but it's just like this floating eyeball that would like shoot a laser beam out of his eye or something like that. But I think these are awesome. But I will only probably be getting the Yellow Ranger and Eye Guy.
Why only the yellow?
Um, I'm not really attached to the other three. You know, I stopped watching after I think it was Turbo, which I think they're going to start coming out with figures of those. I don't remember if they have or not, but I believe this Yellow Ranger is the last one to complete the Zeo Rangers, because you're getting the Pink Ranger in a 2-pack coming soon, and then I think she's the last one.
Cool. Okay, so Marvel Legends. There's really nothing for Black Series or TVC, like we said. So Marvel Legends, they tease Spider-Man No Way Home figures. This was off of Marvel.com, posted all over the place. Again, I'm mad I didn't want to see these, but it's part of collecting or being in the hobby. Got to put up with it.
People were mad at I was joking about this when Sean put this in the chat, and I was like, spoilers, dude, what the fuck? But is it like, I mean, it is. And then I heard something about the black suit that is fucking spoilers.
Don't say anything there.
You want to
Put
know
it in the chat and just don't look.
Definitely not.
Put it in the private chat?
Put it in the private chat.
I'll never check
I don't
it.
care about spoilers. It's going to make me want to watch it more.
I'll tell you, Sean. I'll message you, but
okay, send it to me in
this doesn't bug me as much. It's like, you know, it's just suits. Like, I don't know how special that is to me. You know,
you need to do it in one of those memes where it's like, tell me about it without telling me about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's Jonah Jameson, Doctor Strange, and then a black and gold Spider-Man suit, and then it looks like an updated version of Iron Spidey suit. So they showed those ones. We'll see. We'll get more info coming probably. I think that article said August, if I was right. We'll have to see. I know we'll pretty soon, within the next couple months, we'll have to start seeing trailers and things like that for the movie coming up. So, and then
you know
so
what, that's the funny thing about like the spoilers and stuff, and with like trailers, because in the trailers for Far From Home, is it Far From Home, or no, it was Homecoming, how they kind of just show he has the webbing underneath his arms and stuff. I feel like that would have been a huge spoiler too, because I mean, classic Spider-Man had that, and then you don't see it for a while, and then they come back out with it and stuff like that. So it just makes me want to see it more, especially being a comic guy and seeing these different portrayals and seeing these different like Easter eggs, they call them, right? It makes me want to see it more.
Yeah. Yeah, and Spider-Man is like the kind of the Iron Man of the comics for the most part, right?
Yeah, they want him to be.
They want him to be now, yeah.
Yeah.
He was for a while. I mean, I think fantastic in the older style books, I think he's definitely up there, but I think like with Fantastic Four and the Avengers and things like that, he kind of took a side seat, but those Spider-Man fans are hardcore.
Yeah. So they also teased Loki series Sylvie figure. And then that's coming this fall, and then the Spider-Man animated series Retro Venom, also due fall 2021 this year. That is going to be a Pulse exclusive, and it's $31.49, kind of a random price. And then he's colored kind of like the anime, so like a red and blue accent to him.
Yeah,
3D Venom. I think it looks kind of cool, especially when you see the art on the box. You can see how they relay. Maybe it's missing some of the purple that you see around the lips here, but you can see, you know, why they did it with the painting. But I also will understand if people completely hate this figure.
I love this Venom. This is why I renewed my Pulse membership.
Is it?
Because I want to be able to get this. I love the head sculpt. I love the paint. I wouldn't be mad if it was just the blue on it and not the red, but I love it either way. And it would be a really simple repaint if you didn't like the red on it, or the red
Yeah.
and blue. You just paint it black. Because I love the head sculpts. And we'll think about this. They made this, and Hasbro loves repaints. They're definitely going to do a version of this that doesn't have the red and blue on it. I'm calling that right now. We're going to see this exact figure again somehow.
Well, and isn't this like classic 90s Venom?
Yeah, I
The
think
head
so.
sculpt, definitely.
Like,
Because it's based off that
Legion
animated
Protector
series from
and-
the
Oh, yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, this is, I can't remember if I'll have to ask Zach again if I inputted them, but this is one of my favorite lines of 2021 that Hasbro has done, or just like across figures period, is the animated retro collection Marvel Legends that they've done for Spider-Man. I think it's pretty much every figure from it has been fantastic. The packaging is super cool. The Spider-Man is really good. And this one has a bit of a special packaging, so you get like this card back, and then I don't know how this front-facing art box works with it, really.
It's just a box. The same way Deadpool and Hulk came in GameStop.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
It'll be in the box, and the
Yep.
box will look like that. So, if you're a carded person, what do you do? Do you
Yeah.
buy 3?
I don't know.
One in the
One-
box, one in the card, and one to take out?
You'd have to, right?
I'm not doing that, Dylan. Don't fucking don't try and make me do that, dude.
So, MODOK World Domination Tour Collection. This one is 2 figures. This one is $73.99, also due fall 2021, and this is also going to be a Pulse exclusive. So it comes with MODOK, and then what's this guy's name again? Captain or something like that.
That would be Sean's department. Sean,
Do you know
who
Sean?
is this guy?
Sean's chugging.
I don't know who that is actually.
Oh, I thought I had it written down, but I fucking I
Wow.
blew it, I guess.
That's whoever did the show sheet, man. I don't know who fucked that.
I
up.
know. What the hell is up with that? I looked at the name and I was like, I'm pretty sure I looked at the name and I was like, oh, I'll just remember that, and I don't remember that. So real quick, too, Jazzwares is doing a 20th anniversary Spartan Collection Master Chief 2-pack. This is $39.99 and GameStop exclusive. So it looks like the one from Combat Evolved, and then I think that is Halo 5 Master Chief. I'd have to check again. That may be Infinity, but not 100% sure. It's still up as of yesterday, last time I checked. And then Storm Collectibles. So this was Golden Axe, Gilius, Thunderhead, and Chicken Leg 12 scale figure set, $135, due October 2021.
This is cool.
That is-
I can't wait for this release, man.
You have it coming?
I have it on order on Big Bad. Does Storm goes on Amazon, right? I couldn't find this on Amazon, but I'm pretty sure I ordered Axe Battler on Amazon. I'm
I
pretty sure
actually
that's
have
how I
not-
got it.
I actually have not looked on there.
But yeah, I'm excited for this. The only thing I wish they done with this is the chicken leg, which I do not remember it being called that, but that's hilarious. The chicken leg, I'm pretty sure to. Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. I might be thinking of like Super Mario. I thought its tongue came out like Yoshi kind of, and like that's how he hit the bad guys. But I actually think his power, like when you're riding this, it would flip and knock over the bad guys. So
okay.
now I just remembered that. But so I take away my complaint. It doesn't. I was gonna say I wish the tongue jumped out like that, but I don't think it did that. I think I'm thinking of something else. But it's a cool figure. It's pricey, like
Yeah.
because he's like half of a figure really, and then the chicken leg is small too. It's like $140 on Big Bad.
Yeah,
And that's I mean, it would have been cooler if it was like $100, but it is what it is.
one thing to note is they do run bigger. So yeah, even though this guy is small, he's still probably going to be
Yeah.
bigger, like out of scale
That's true.
with other companies. But yeah, Yeah, that is pretty pricey, but Storm overall does a pretty good job. This one is actually a pretty big deal, I thought. So they've done pink skeletons, I think green skeleton action figures from Golden Axe. This one is a Silver Soldier 2-pack. It's sold out initially, but apparently, according to Toy Arc, and I think Chris Marino on Dorklair pointed this out as well, so thank you there. But he said that they say the pre-order is going live on bluefinbrands.com during SDCC, so July 22nd at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So definitely check that out if you want these guys. From everything I've heard about them, they're fantastic figures, great kind of flexible figures that you can use really for anything. But Mark asked, did anyone else get Lord of the Rings Diamond Select Legolas and Gimli? Just compared them to my Toy Biz figures. They went from a 7 to a 9. Interesting.
Wait,
I know
the Toy Biz went from a 7 to a 9, or the Diamond Select?
I think he's talking about the Diamond Select.
Because those, I've seen reviews of them, and I really want to collect something Lord of the Rings. I'm begging for a company to make good Lord of the Rings shit, and they do not. I mean, the Gimli looks fantastic. The Legolas, the head, the likeness is off. Just the accessories are not great. So I don't know, Mark. You let us know if we should buy those or not.
So you're gonna make fun of me, Eddie, but
You piece of shit.
there are rumors that have not been confirmed. They just seem like rumors or wishful thinking, but people have said Mezco has the license for Lord of the Rings.
That would be awesome, Dylan. I would be a Mezco fanboy just like you if that actually happened.
I don't know if they'll play on it though, even if they do have the license, because they just seem to have gone away from movie licenses. They haven't needed them, to be honest. So we'll have to see there. But
Cool.
that's just a rumor. So Kyoto, they had a couple amazing Yamaguchi Reveltech figures. They had this X-Force Deadpool version 2. So this is $100 due December 2021. And then they had this fluorescent Carnage figure. And this one you can't get here yet. We'll have to see if we'll have ways of getting it in North America. But I think you can only get it in Japan. And there's 2 different ways that you can get it. Either just the figure or with a movie ticket. And they translate to either $64 or $83. But I thought this was a pretty sweet figure. And the movie ticket would be for
Venom 2. Let there be
carnage.
Carnage.
Yes, Let There Be Carnage. Thank you. Sorry, Mark. Yeah, I should have just kept that to myself. So Dean, this is right up his alley. This is from Figma, or Good Smile Company. They announced a Figma 6-inch Doomslayer figure.
I did not see this. This is cool, dude. I like
So Figma is like Dean's Mezco to me. Like Mezco
Really?
to me, yes. Good Smile Company
I
or
did not know
Figma
that.
is what that's like to Dean. He loves
I think-
Good Smile Company.
But is that because he loves the company, or they just do most of the obscure shit that Dean likes to collect? Because they do Final Fantasy, they do this. I feel like they just do the kind of stuff he likes to collect, so he likes them by default.
Both. He says that they are some of the more well pieced together small stuff you'll ever find, which I would hope so for some of the Bofa. Thanks, Mark, for the correction. He says it's like the joint quality, the figure quality overall. But yeah,
Okay.
like I said, my only complaint is it better be good for their price, because they're more expensive than Mezco are. Typically they're like 90 to like 150 ish for 6-inch figures. But yeah, so this one would be pretty cool. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on this one. And then this one, we don't have a ton of interest. Mark, figures made are great and are obscure, like different licenses. They have some Alien and Predators. I just haven't been able to bite the bullet because of price.
To be fair, their Predator looks like He looks a little bit anime-ish to me. I've seen the
Yeah,
Predator, and I don't know if I like it.
it
So,
is. It's a different. It's a
but if
artist
you're a
style
Predator
one.
guy, then
Hmm.
yeah.
I've seen it in comic book stores. I just haven't been able to pull the trigger. But anyway, so 3-0, they announced a new figure in their Fig Zero S line. So this is their 6-inch line. That's what Fig Zero S is, or their new 6-inch line. Try and support this if you can. This one is Shin Ultraman, $49.90, due Q4. So real quick, Fig Zero S is a new series of articulated figures capturing the highly posable style of the initial Fig Zero line in a smaller size. That's kind of what it will be. You know, that's what we've seen with Terminator, the Iron Man figures that we've seen coming out of them. So I hope they keep growing on them. We've had 1,000 Ultraman figures, it seems like, but
Lately, yeah.
yeah, this one, most of them are 1/12 scale. This one is not 1/12 scale because it's 6-inch, and I think he's like giant. So that's probably why they just kind of said that. But yeah, and that's all we had. Sean, I'm gonna let you hack away at this. I'll be right back.
We would like to thank all of our Patreons, starting with Ben Porter, Sean Fear, Ian Seeby, Renee Mendez, Eric Marisco, Quinn Aguirre, Leo Hernandez, King Louie, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Cully, Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krent, Big Fern, King Zachary, Caesar Marquin, Mike Cruz, Lisa Martin Bomowski, Rick Di Gregorio,
D. Gregorio.
D Gorgorio,
Yeah. better.
Alvin Jules, the Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Bola Boyd, Jimmy James, Mario Cortez, Stephen Percha, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Steve and Martin Stanley, Jesse Contreras, Lord Voldatort, Eddie Manzanaros, Joe Corpus, and Mr. and Mrs. JB. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys for your continued support.
We love you guys.
So, Dylan, the Rancor that we have is the original one, the OG.
Ooh, how much is it?
$5,000.
Have not been able to get that, but it's also paired up with the Jabba's set.
Interesting.
So
Keep me updated there. Okay, so sorry.
no, you're good.
For our July Patreon benefits, we have the clip sticker, and then 1,000 subscriber sticker, and then the Mount Collect More magnet. And Sean, if you want to go through the Patreon benefits.
So you get the Sweet Angel for $5 a month, the Certified Crispy for $15 a month, and the What a Guy tier for $25.
Okay, so kind of to go through our channel list here. We got Small Talk. Obviously, our episode will be uploaded next Thursday, and then next Thursday OFAC, Only Fools and Collecting, will be live, collecting weekly every Tuesday. Collecting Rarities, they just had an episode with Rainer and Seth. They they talked about beer and dirty mags, right, Sean? You were on that one?
Yeah, I was on there for the beer.
Gotcha. Why weren't you on there for the dirty mags?
Because his wife is listening.
No, she's not. Because I need to save my career as a teacher.
That's fair. Yeah, well.
Isn't that why you became a teacher?
What?
What?
That doesn't make sense.
He was so busy reading dirty mags in college, he's like, fuck it, I'll just become a teacher.
Eek.
I don't know.
Pretty sure
Shots
that's not how
fired.
that works. You
Shots
reached.
fired.
Jason, he said in other news, Mattel Netflix Masters of the Universe figures are in stores now. Yes, I wanted to cover them, Jason. The show sheet got too long. I wanted to try and cover like a different variety of stuff. I also don't know enough about Master of the Universe at
They
this
also look like shit, Jason. That's why we didn't cover them.
point.
Those are some
Jesus.
ugly ass looking Mattel figures, okay, dude?
Some of them I've seen that I've liked the way they look more so than the old Master of the Universe
Really?
stuff. Yeah, we'll have to see if we maybe we'll cover them on the next episode and try and play catch up.
I did see the Battle Cat
Battle Cat.
in Target, and that thing is huge,
Yeah.
and the articulation looks really good on that. So out of everything, that the cat looks really good.
Yeah, we'll have to once we get some slower news here, we'll see if we can fit them in and cover them. I'm just worried about messing up on what's news and what's not. I don't know anything about Masters of the Universe except for like He-Man and the Battle Cat and Skeletor, and that's it. And
That's all you need to know, dude.
I could very well like get confused on the lines and stuff because I think they're coming out. There's like 2 versions of Masters of the Universe coming out at the same time, right?
There
Like
is those
like a
weird,
child
like
version?
5-point articulation or whatever they are, like the old bulky looking ones, and then
Yeah.
the new Netflix line, which I am actually super excited for the show.
Are
The
you?
show looks really good. I used to watch Master of the Universe when I was a kid, but it was very little and I was really young, but I remember I liked it a lot. I love He-Man. I like Dolph Lundgren's He-Man movie, even though it's very well hated, I think. But like I like that movie. But yeah, the show looks really good. If you guys haven't seen the trailers for it, you should check it out. It's kind of like an anime style He-Man, and I heard that the anime house doing the animation for it, and I think I heard it on Dorklayer, was the same anime house that did Castlevania, and I love Castlevania. It's like a really good anime on Netflix. Check that out if you haven't. They just dropped a new season of that, but I heard that's the same house doing it, so that's probably why I'm intrigued so much. But it looks good.
Yeah. Okay, so in and outs, you know Mario was on earlier. He is going live tomorrow. I believe he said last night at 6:30, not their normal time.
6:30 PST.
Yeah, and he's having some special guests on there, so check that out. And then CW Clips, where you can see some of our funniest moments. And then you got the Collecting Weekly live unboxing on Mondays with the retro or the Monday versions with John. And then you have After Dark every Wednesday at 10:30, and then Ox Plays. So yeah, we try our best to have a little of something for everyone. But yeah, looks like and then I should put a plug in here for a Collecting Weekly Auxiliary. It's really the only group I ever find myself engaging and I guess having fun with. It's a good group on there. Wanted to call out John, the Everyday Collector. He does a good job of promoting us, and he is on a lot of shows within the network, so thank you there. And then I also wanted to call out Dorklair again, say thank you again to those guys. It was a great time having them on. It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
They also make sure to check them out. I believe they actually record the same days we do on Thursdays, but then their stuff, they don't do live, and then their stuff won't be uploaded until I believe Sundays, Bill said. But they do a good job of covering some other things that we don't, that are very popular, like Mythic Legions, Masters of the Universe, some other licenses they're big into. I would love to cover them, just none of us are into them, so it's very hard to. But yeah, no, they do a great job there. I'd love to do kind of a part 2 again with them someday. It was a lot of fun. So just kind of wanted to shout those guys out. Definitely check them out. But yeah, overall, good show, guys. We were able to keep it under 3 hours.
Just under the wire.
Yeah, we'll have to let you get to Black Widow, Eddie. Let us know what you think. I still actually have to watch Loki. I think that's what I'll do.
I haven't watched Loki yet either, or the new Dave episode. if you guys are watching that.
I would say that I'd just post spoilers to you after I watch it, but then you'll post something about the Spider-Man shit.
I'll tell you exactly what that suit does, dude.
You need to send me the message, man.
I do need to send you it.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Small Talk, the show where we talk about absolutely nothing important at all. Good night.
Bye,
Hi, guys.